Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Stroked up too, Lummy?
Yeah.
You can't get them.
Unless you pay for them.
No, they want your ID.
Well, you can pay for sites without an ID.
You can?
Yeah, you just can't do free
I'm not
ones.
going to start paying for porn now. Now the wheels are officially off if I'm paying for porn.
Yeah.
So like, due to the fact that you live in Florida, you got to prove that you're 18. Put your ID in. When I put my ID in so you guys can come knock on my door and say that I was looking at some porn I ain't posa?
Just make Birch Correct do it for you.
No, I don't want her knocking on my door for either one of them.
Wow.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge Show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Tuesday, it's already August 4th. Last time I remembered it was the last day of July. We're already 4 deep in August. 2026, myself, Macho Man, Lummy, Dr. Dan Diaco came in just with about 37 seconds left. Said that the rain. See, I'm kind of like in my own little bubble here. I go from the house. There's about maybe 22 steps to the garage. Then I come to the garage and I'm in a big dark bat cave. I really don't know what the elements are doing outside. There are no windows in here. I've never had a studio with windows. And when I had a career where I had to share a studio, I would block out the windows. My little crew of Guido and Cowhead and everybody, Dig Dug, Pantera. I'm thinking of all the guys I had, back in the day. They would come in and we had like these insulation soundproof inserts that we would stick into the window, and then we would cover the window that went into the hallway with a big curtain, and then lock the door. Because I don't like to be like in a fishbowl where people can see you. Because in regular radio stations, they usually have an outside window that goes to the outside. And then they got a window that goes to the hallway where, like, salespeople can, like, take clients and go, like, there's Bubba the Love Sponge in there doing his show. Well, I didn't want any of that. So, God, I think I first started doing it in Orlando. But, not a lot of radio stations management would let you.
Well, when you first started, didn't the original radio station have like a window outside?
643 Ohio Street, 103 PFR. They had a window that was probably almost, if you guys look back behind you and look at so it goes TV, Bubba Army sign TV, right? The plate glass window going to the outside was about as wide as that area. Big plate glass. And then there we were, and people that were walking up and down the street of Ohio Street. It went Wabash, Ohio, as far as the east-west corridors of Terre Haute, Indiana. Ohio was the second major street. So there was a lot of, walking activity, people would literally just stare right at you when you were doing your break. But those breaks were so... like 103 PFR, this is Falco and Rock Me Amadeus on Wabash Valley's hit FM 103 PFR. Like, that would be all you could say. 38 seconds max. So, they would watch you do that and you thought you were really big. Well, then, I was the night jock from 7 to midnight, and we weren't that far from Indiana State University, and, and the Indiana Theater, which is a very historical theater, I think it's still around. That's where I saw Purple Rain with this girl named Annie Snyder. But anyway, make a long story short, the Indiana Theater was our neighbor. So people going to the movie theater would come by the radio station, just naturally walk by the station. And then a lot of times towards the latter part of my career, when I kind of started being popular a little bit, girls would put their jugs right there on the glass.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, really nice. Like
thoughtful.
Tridel, Alpha Phi, all the... Dan, all the sororities.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tridelt was always like even in
80
Indiana.
Pi, Tridelt.
Oh yeah, Omega Pi. Omega Pi and Tridelts were the two hotties, and they'd come out there and put their boobies on. I'll be like, oh yeah. And so yeah, I mean that was my first station had. Like, I think it was probably I was traumatized so much by having that I don't think the first station that allowed me to start blocking off the windows, I think was XL 106.7 in Orlando. So I'd been to, Terre Haute, Grand Rapids, San Antonio, Chicago, Philly before I finally made it to Orlando. Started killing it at night. That's when I started becoming like real mean and, like hanging up on kids and calling them fetuses. And then got really, had some good ratings. And then that's when they allowed, I went to my boss, Big Steve Kelly, soft as warm butter. Like he was the biggest pussy ever. And I was like, hey, Big Steve, can I take like a curtain or like something and block? We only had one window that went into that looked into the lobby. And I said, can I block that window? And he's like, well, there's not even anybody here at night. I go, I still don't like anybody looking inside my control room. He's like, yeah, you can start doing it. So then from there, I went back to Chicago. They didn't let me do it. Then to Milwaukee, they didn't let me do it because the back part in Milwaukee at Hot 102, the back part. So let me picture like the big TV wall behind me, right?
Okay.
If I was in Milwaukee, the front door would have been kind of where Macho's door is. That's to get into studio. And then behind me was a big plate glass that showed the food court of the Mayfair Mall. Like I could look behind me and see everybody in the mall. That was kind of cool. Because your back was to them, so you didn't get distracted by them, but you could turn around and look at, and then chicks realized the station was up there because we had a big sign in the window, and sometimes that would get a little crazy. And then from from Milwaukee, I went to Tampa, and then the Power Pig, I could get anything I wanted. I mean, they had a no visitor policy. I had visitors. They had, we were playing top 40, urban leading music, and I talked them into the latter couple years of my career because I had such a high share that I would do AC/DC at 9:30 and Beastie Boys at 10:30, and it would be deep album cuts. Like, we go from like, Jodeci, some real hot urban cut, right into like, for those about to rock, we salute you. Like just and they would let me do it just because, I had a huge share. So anyway, that's how I got to blocking the windows. I don't know how we got on that topic, but we did.
Because you don't know how it is outside.
Oh yeah. So when you're in here, and then when I built the Lemon Street studio, Slummy, that was a concrete bunker.
Yes.
No windows. And then when I built the Nassau Streets, that was a concrete bunker. And then now here, it's pretty much a concrete bunker. Other than Dan telling me that it was raining super hard up here, I don't know anything that's happened. Although we can hear thunder in here a little bit better than we did the other place because the ceilings aren't so tall.
Yeah,
so sometimes you can hear rain in here a little bit, but you can't see nothing.
Does your dog freak out with the thunder?
No. Does yours?
The big one does.
Really?
Yeah, he's just not used to it.
Like gets scared and starts shaking.
It just doesn't. He just looks for me.
Oh, and he wants to be by you.
Yeah.
Did you have to yell at it in German?
No. Oh. He's getting retrained in English.
Does it know English or is it still
He does now.
Well, I mean, proficiently, or is he still better in the German tongue?
I think it's about 50-50 now, and he'll be more, English. He's an American. He's an American dog now. Speak the language, bitch. If you're gonna live in this country.
When you bought the dog, did they tell you his commands were in German, and then you had to learn those commands?
Yeah, and I had to keep a list with me because I couldn't remember any of them.
Do they have an attack list?
Mm-hmm.
Is he trained to attack?
He's going through that now.
So like you can sick him on him, somebody? Mm-hmm. Wow, poor Steve. Steve.
Well, the guy he sicks him on looks like, he's in that like big padded suit, so he's going to probably have this aversion to fat people.
Sometimes Steve coming to your house is good. Most of the time it's not, and especially now that he has to actually travel across city to get there when he used to have to walk across the street. up your football-sized driveway. It wasn't that big a deal.
But now he's got 10 minutes to stew.
Now he's got 10 minutes, maybe 15 based on traffic to get over there. So Steve coming to your house, I'd certainly tell, hey, Steve, I just want to let you know, if you come over here with some nonsense, I got a dog that will attack you now. Mm-hmm. So, let me know. Make sure it's good news. I don't want any of this nonsense. You giving me a bunch of bull crap over nothing.
And, they just sit there and they pant and they look happy until you tell them to do something. And all of a sudden, they're all business.
Right.
What's the word? Like fast? Fast?
Yeah,
that's
fast.
Attack, yeah.
Fast.
No.
That's attack?
Yeah.
Oh. How would Lummy know?
I don't know.
My mom's grandparents were German.
Really? Tony Stewart used to have 2 German Shepherds that were like $32,000 a dog to get trained. And he had them with him when he was on the road after that, Kevin Hart or whatever, that sprint car accident. Remember that?
Yeah.
And there were people that, he'd still go race on little dirt tracks over the weekend. And there were these hillbillies and white trash or what have you. Kevin Ward was the guy's name. And it was his fault, by the way, Kevin Ward's. Got out of his sprint car and, darted towards Tony. By the way, it was a racing deal. Tony completely had to position, spun the guy out. Guy gets out of his car during, sprint cars that under 35 miles an hour, the sprint cars, their front ends wobble. Like they're very dangerous and very unstable.
It's the hardest car in the world to drive.
Yes, unless it's under load. Now, when you start picking up the pace and it starts getting wind on the wing, then your downforce starts working and the car becomes more manageable. But under caution, those things are a handful. The front end shaking, you automatically got about between 12 and 14, 15 inches of stagger, so they want to dart one way or the other. And if you want to get it to quickly move left, you have to counter steer it and kind of give it a little bit of gas to get that right rear going. So what does Kevin Ward do? He gets spun out. I not only am I a race car driver, but I am also a racetrack owner. So I'm very much an expert in this opinion, in this particular subject. And so the number one rule is if you get out of your car, if you're involved in a caution where your car can no longer continue, if it can continue, they'll hook it, bring it to the middle, your crew will change a tire or two, but you stay strapped in. But if your car's junked and it can't continue, then you are to stand by the outer portion of your car, meaning your car needs to be in between you and the racing. So it would be the passenger side of your car if you just spun out going the same direction. You put your car in between the people that are parading around under caution and you. What does Kevin Ward do? He gets out of the car and he's now walking on what you would call a hot track, even though it's under caution. You still got race cars rolling around there, and he makes makes a gesture, like lunges towards Tony's car. Tony sees him last minute. What you don't realize, on your right-hand side of you have an entire blind spot in a sprint car if you look to the right, because the wing hangs down. You really can't see much on the right-hand side. So that's where Kevin Ward starts approaching Tony, trying to give him, some crap for, by the way, it was a racing deal, and, Tony gave you a slider, you didn't lift, your left front hit Tony's right rear, spun you out. That's on you, bro. That's completely on you. You then approach Tony's car. He sees you last minute, knows he needs to dart the car to the left, counter steers, and gives it some gas. It's the only way that car is going to turn. Otherwise, it's going to be tight. And so, in doing so, the guy gets wrapped up in the right rear, spits him 90 feet, and he was a sack of potatoes. He was completely done. Oof. And it really has, I know Tony personally, and it really has been, it's a thing that really, really upsets him. He has gone through a therapy, and, he's not proud of that moment, whatever. The grand jury convened. They didn't file any charges on Tony, and the case settled. But, that being said, hell, I don't even know how I got to that topic. What was that?
Still a catastrophe. And, we were taught the only reason to get out of your car is if it's on fire. Oh, because your car is so safe.
Right. So Tony, in that interim, for the 2 or 3 years that he went racing, he felt as if he could get attacked or somebody come up and screw with him because of that incident. So he got 2 It was $70,000, Dan, for these two, like, as trained as a canine police dog. And they would, when Tony would walk, through the pits and whatever, they would be on either side of him. And it only took one code word to get them to chomp. And there were two of them, and they worked together. They would work together. One would chomp high and one would chomp low.
Was this before or after the monkey? Because I feel like the monkey would protect it.
Way after the monkey. Here's the bad thing about the monkey. The monkey just would attack anybody. Like you couldn't, like the dogs, they're just going to walk. You could actually go up and pet them. Like if Tony didn't give the code word, which I only saw him give the code word one time.
What happened?
The guy knew quickly. They first kind of get into like position, like into attack position. And then, they start showing their teeth and growling. They give you a warning. Like they just don't chomp you. They give you a warning, and then if you don't start retreating, they chomp you. But they give you like a little bit of a warning. And I saw that, and it's the scariest thing I've ever seen. Like one kind of positions itself a little closer to the dude, and the other one kind of flanked him to be like to his back and side. They kind of surround you a little bit, Dan. When Tony said it was something similar to your word, but I don't know what it was. But other than that, man, they were the coolest dogs. But they would kill you. The monkey though. So the dogs were manageable, Lummy, because the dogs would just be cool if they didn't get the word. Yeah. Like you could go up and pet them and the whole 9 yards. But the monkey, on the other hand, he was just wanting to attack everybody until he attacked Gooch, and Gooch had to choke him out. Did you hear about that?
So it's like kind of like a transgender school shooter?
No, it was kind of like that bully that bullies everybody around until he gets choked out, and then he no longer will bully you. So this little monkey, it could literally, Dan, be over by me right now, like on my shoulder, and it could jump, and it would like hit the top of that mic stand, and then jump on one of the Bubba Army signs, and then jump back on Lummy's head, and then jump on the ground and get to scampering. Like he was just like, so he was absolutely enamored with the buttons in the cockpit of Tony's jet. Those little buttons up top that every one of them represents a little something, something. So he would jump from Tony to one of the chairs into the cockpit and then start hitting buttons.
Oh, that's cool.
And so the pilot was
15,000 feet.
Yeah, no, at 35,000 feet. So Tony was like the pilots made Tony. Tony always liked to keep the door open because he could always kind of BS with them a little bit, or maybe go up there. And a lot of times they let Tony sit in the right seat and what have you. If it was a long flight like California and Indiana or California to back to Charlotte. So Tony would get up there sometimes. Well, the monkey tried to get up there. Finally, they had to shut the door because the monkey was so wild. So the monkey was in the bus one day, and it was screwing with Gooch. Now, you know Gooch. Gooch is 6'6", 450 pounds. Like, Gooch is bigger than Lummy.
How big was Mojo?
Now, Mojo was about 37 pounds, maybe 40. But mean as hell with these big fangs and stuff. Well, Gooch kind of had established himself as the alpha of the bus. Like, he drove the bus, he stocked the bus, he did the cooking, he did the cleaning. Like, Gooch, he drove the bus to and from. So, a lot of times Mojo would show up on the plane with Tony, and then they would transfer over to the bus because they had to spend, like, most NASCAR drivers get there on Thursday, and they leave Sunday right after the deal. So you're there a couple nights, 2-3 nights. Well, Tony bought this kind of decorative crystal. I don't know what, $10,000 for this decorative crystal. Well, Mojo went in there and broke 2 of the 4 pieces. And so Gooch gets in there after Gooch was also Tony's gas man. So, when Tony was on the track, Gooch wasn't back at the trailer, hanging 10. Gooch was the gas man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of, so Tony got like triple value out of him. He not only was he a gas man, but he was also the RV driver and would also oversee merchandise too. So Gooch gets back to the bus, and Mojo is already broken 2 pieces of crystal, and Mojo starts showing his teeth to Gooch. And Gooch, Gooch was already mad because he had to clean up the $5,000 worth of crystal. So Mojo comes and jumps on Gooch's shoulder and tries to bite him.
Really?
Yeah, and Gooch said, I love animals. I would never hurt an animal until one attacked me, but my instinct mode came in, and he goes, I had him by his neck. Like I was grabbing a sack of quarters. I had him literally around, and Gooch's big hand could wrap around this little monkey's neck. And he said I had him pinned down on the couch, and I was choking him out. And his tongue came to the side, went to the side of it. And he said I thought at that point I probably killed him. I needed to back it off a notch. And he said Mojo, after he got done choking him out, Mojo kind of looked at him, shook his head, and went back to the bedroom and laid down. And Mojo never, ever, 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 ever did any, wouldn't even get around Gooch. Sumo had to choke him out too.
Jeez.
You'd have to, Dan, he would try you until you fought back. So if Tony brought some visitors to the bus, Mojo would try to pick out the weakest link and then try that person, bite them, scratch them, nip at them and what have you. And if you sat there and took it, then he would do it more. But if you kicked him or tried to choke him out or something like that, then he wouldn't mess with you. But he was definitely an opportunist. What a
lovely pet.
He was a standard bully. Like he would bully you until you choked him out, and then he would leave you alone.
Would you ever get a monkey?
Yeah, no. They're too human-like. And you got to have a diaper on them. And I only want an animal that you can let outside and they go poop and pee and then, they come back in. That's the kind of dog I want. Or that's the kind of animal I want. Like cat, I don't like cat. I grew up with cat. My first cat was when I was a little kid named Inky. And I almost killed him.
How?
Well, I put him in the dryer.
Yeah. It doesn't work.
With 5 pounds of potatoes and it knocked him out. And then I put him underneath.
Dude, you are literally like one like inappropriate touching away from a Jeffrey Dahmer.
Killer. Yeah. The only thing I never did is I never really was fascinated with fire much, and I never killed animals in the wild. So Inky, I would say, Inky want to choke? Inky want to choke? And then I'd choke him, and then I put him in the dryer with 5 pounds of potatoes. And then I would put him underneath the couch cushions and jump on him. And Inky ended up getting mean as hell, like mean.
Why would that happen?
Yeah. So he would be behind the couch, and if you'd go beside him, he'd scratch your ankles because he just wanted. Poor guy was like in defense mode. So Inky went on vacation, is what my dad told me. Inky's going on vacation. Of course. So Inky went on vacation. I think my dad went out to one of his farm buddies and gave Inky to one of the farm guys. And then when I was like in 5th grade, we got a cat named Butch, and he was cool as hell. Butch ended up being, clear up until I left for Indiana State at 18, Butch was still around. And then I had 2 cats with Carrie Gray named.
Was Butch a boy or just a girl with a short haircut?
No, Butch was a boy. So then we got Elvis and Rocker. When Carrie Gray was my roommate, we got Elvis and Rocker. And then when Carrie got fired, he took Elvis and Rocker. And then I didn't have any cats for the longest time. And then I think my first dog might have been Hootie. Remember Hootie, that Jack Russell? Which I had to give to Brent because Hootie was wild. He was a Jack Russell, and he was an escape artist, and he could literally jump over a 6-foot fence. Like he was unbelievable. And then from Hootie, I think the next one was Pookie. No, I had Alan the Greyhound for a little bit. I rescued a Greyhound, but it would poop inside, and Greyhound poops are literally the size of human poops.
They're big dogs.
Oh yeah, they're big dogs. And this is one that finished last at Derby Lane every week.
Slow Greyhound.
So they were going to probably kill him, and so I rescued it from the rescue Greyhound deal. I had him about a month. I had to give him back, Alan. And then after Alan, I had I think it was Pookie. Then from Pookie, I got Boo Boo, and then after Boo Boo, I got Bella. So that's my dog journey. Lemay, are you guys going to get a new dog?
Yeah, probably in a couple years.
What kind?
It's nice not to have a dog, though.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying? Because when you have a dog, you get kind of attached, and you got to, if you go on vacation, you got to get somebody to watch it. And,
and Walker's not old enough to go
to
out
really
and walk
appreciate
him.
it. Yeah.
He just, I would be the one taking care of him.
Yeah.
Ashley would.
What kind would you get?
I don't know, mutt.
Just go to the mutt. Yeah, we're not like you that need high dollar, AKC papers registered from Germany.
One vet visit, and all of a sudden you make your money back. You get a crappy dog that's got a lot of problems, and all of a sudden it's way more expensive than a nice dog.
Mutts don't have problems.
Yeah.
Mutts
They're white trash.
Yeah.
They don't have problems.
Yeah, mutts, I mean, yeah.
Put a little dirt on it, it'll be all right.
Yeah. Dan, you worked emergency room. White trash, when they come to the emergency room, it's nothing internal. It's something they've done to themselves.
Almost always.
Like a firecracker or a gunshot or an overdose or a DUI wreck. Like, it's not like, I'm 30 years old and I got prostate cancer. No.
Never happens in the wild.
White trash is resilient in the wild.
Dr. Dan, the only person I think that would be here that would have a monkey would be you. I could see you having
you could
a
have
monkey.
Dude, I
didn't change my kids' diapers. You think I'm going to change a monkey diaper?
Yeah, I tell you, monkey would be cool if you could teach the monkey to use the toilet.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. They're so smart. I don't know why they can't. They should be able. If cats can do it, why can't a monkey do it?
Yeah, a monkey could.
Wipe and shave.
Monkey probably could. Monkeys are cool. Mojo would have been cool if he just didn't attack people. Mojo was cool as hell if he didn't attack people.
But there's like so many different kinds of monkeys, and they get really strong, and they can get really aggressive, and they can get really destructive, and they can get violent.
You want one of those little spider monkeys where you have half a chance. If you get a monkey the size of if you got a monkey the size of Walker, it'd be able to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, really. They're like, what are they, 15 or 20 times stronger than a human?
Yeah, they're much stronger than we are.
I got down this native gorilla silverback rabbit hole like a couple weeks ago, and they were silverbacks.
Started off on Ancestry.
I started out with my family history, and we ended up as gorillas. When I went back to the before BC area, the Klims were a famous silverback gorilla clan out of West Africa. So these gorillas, when they get mad, so these people were traveling down the river on this boat, and when the gorilla starts getting aggressive, he makes cupping sounds on his chest, and when he does that, man, it means like that's his warning sign. And then they can really haul ass. They run on 4. They can run on 2, but then every like 5th or 6th step, they have to put the front gear down to kind of maybe guide them where they're going. But man, if you look at a silverback gorilla in the wild, it's just all muscle.
Who's their natural adversary? Like, who are they fighting?
Nobody. They're
alphas.
I think they're the top of the chain. I don't know if any
a lion or hippo go after a gorilla.
Isn't there an ongoing feud, lion versus gorilla? Like that's like an ongoing, made up like we've made this battle, this make believe battle up, lion versus gorilla. Like who would win? Let me ask.
But they don't mess with each other, right?
Hold on. Two predators.
Hey Alexa, who would win in lion versus gorilla?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
This bitch has. Hey Alexa, what's 2 + 2?
2 + 2 is 4.
Jesus.
There you go.
I would think that. That's not the only thing a bitch knows. Let's just.
So when you start getting annoyed, you can start banging on your chest.
I don't know. But let's just try to. Dan, you're with your intellect, my intellect, Lummy's intellect. Who would win in lion versus gorilla?
Here's what happens: the lion bites the gorilla, and while he's biting the gorilla, the gorilla rips his face apart. I
think the lion could get some good snags in with his claws and his teeth. But I think if the gorilla, like you said, Dan, could get a grasp on any body part, he'd rip. Like he would literally show the lion his right paw. Like he just
he'd rip his arm off and beat him with it.
Right.
So he'll take a lick or two, but then he'd win.
Right.
Because cats have such quick reflexes. It's just mathematically faster than mammals. Primates.
The gorilla's main predator is a leopard.
What?
Yes,
leopards go after them.
Yes, they attack them at night when they're resting.
Probably in groups, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that one leopard could do it. He might need to get 4 or 5 of his friends.
Ooh, what about a grizzly versus a gorilla?
Oh.
I never thought about that one.
Grizzly versus gorilla.
North America versus Africa.
Oh, man.
Better than the World Cup.
Here's the thing, though. I think that, again, the grizzly's got the claws and the bite, but the gorilla's got the strength, even more so than a grizzly. And I think literally a gorilla could throw a grizzly. He could literally Greco-Roman a grizzly. I mean, gorillas are the strongest. They're the strongest animals in the world.
And they have this little gift called 4 thumbs.
Yes, they got fingers and thumbs.
Yeah, and so thumbs help a lot in a fight.
They have the ability to grasp.
Right.
Instead of just swiping, they can grab. I think gorilla wins. Gorilla versus grizzly.
Because the gorilla's got 5 things to clamp down with, and a lion has 1.
Right, and don't think the gorilla don't have those really badass feet too that can clamp.
That's what I'm saying.
Like we can't claim. Although I think I do. I genuinely think. Now you're the doctor, and you know how our autonomy works, but our anatomy works. Aren't we really only a couple chromosomes away from gorillas?
Oh yeah, we're closer to chimps, but we're very close to all the primates.
Right. I mean, we're very close to monkeys. Are we not virtually
closer to apes than monkeys?
Okay, because apes
don't have a tail.
Monkeys do. So gorilla is an ape, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like
baboon,
chimpanzee, they're
a chimp's an ape.
Chimp's an ape.
They don't have a tail.
Orangutan
don't have a tail. But then like a spider monkey or rhesus monkeys, they all have tails.
Now, in the day and age of us being so similar, why couldn't we use a gorilla heart? Why couldn't we transplant? Now, let me ask you a question, Dan.
They did. It didn't work.
Anatomy-wise, like, do they have the same type of like liver, spleen?
No, very similar to us. So
pancreas.
One of the first transplants ever in the history of mankind was a heart transplant from a baboon to a human at Charity Hospital in New Orleans, and obviously it didn't work because it doesn't work.
Why wouldn't it work?
You reject it immediately.
Your body does.
Throws a fit.
Throws a code?
Yeah.
Throws a code?
I mean, it's one thing to put your heart in me because at least the chromosomes match up and some of the alleles and things that would be antigenic would be okay. But if you put another species in you without the proper, immunosuppression, you're done. It takes hours to be reject.
Anyway.
But it's the same size, same weight. It looked like it would work.
But why did we use a pig heart?
Again, pig is something that a good-sized boar has a heart similar to humans.
Where's how fat you are? I'd be a pig, and Dan would be a monkey.
Yeah.
And we harvest pigs all the time, so that's why we use pig skin for dressing sometimes.
For those scoring at home, before I go to words, let me just give you a quick reminder. The tack bags, which are our all-time probably greatest selling thing because they're just so efficient and they're cheap. They're $30. They're usually about $50, and they have the Bubba Army little patch on them. These things, you can carry your gun in the back of them. You can carry your wallet, your iPhone, your credit cards, your car keys, your sunglasses, anything, and they're like a sling bag where you sling them over your shoulder. We sell them out every time. Like, we sell them out. I think we order 100 of them. We sell them out every time, and they've been sold out for a while. Merch Creek just got a shipment in yesterday, so she wanted me to remind everybody. Also, we've recently put up these. This is an absolute must if you're like a Nash or a Creatine Travis or a Big Red. You're an outdoor dog and you work outside. You got to have one of these sun hats. And we still have limited, although we did sell out on some sizes, the Huck-inspired Bubba Army UV summer fishing shirt. Still have a few blue ones and gray ones. And let's not forget, I think we got 14 to 16 of the multi-toned, two-toned Bubba Army Submariner yacht watch, high-end stainless steel pre-sale. Those are currently en route to getting here. We should have those in hand by 2 weeks and start shipping those. But you can get a couple of them. There's a couple, I think 14 or so, a dozen or so left. Merch Creek wanted me to remind everybody about that. When we return, the Rays very active.
Yes,
thank God.
3 players at the trade deadline, none of which really cost us any money. And not, I think, they have I think they're tied at least most of them are tied up for 2 or 3 years, right?
Except for the first
the Mets guy.
Freddie. I think he's.
Is he a rent-a-ride?
Yeah, they may be able to lock him in, but
they got the catcher from the Marlins that also can play first base. We shipped off the one-ass bucket. What's his name? With the Key West butt tickler, the blonde guy.
We sent him back to L.A.
Fedorov or whatever the hell his name is. Fiducci. Sent him to L.A. So now we looks like we got Nick Fortes and Liam Hicks. We got Hicks from the Mariners. We got a reliever from Baltimore?
Yeah, he's like 6'8". He throws probably like 97, 98. He's got some
They're
gas.
saying
he's a
pretty
two-time All-Star, right?
Yeah.
He's good. He's gonna help us.
We had to give up some picks for these guys, but we didn't have to really give up anything else. I mean, it was all developmental players, right?
Yeah.
And so I think ESPN and everybody that grades the trades had us on the good side of all three trades. I saw one rated a B+, one rated a B, and one rated a B-, all of which we got the better end of the stick. So the Rays pick up three players, two pitchers and a catcher. One of the pitchers is a starter and one's a reliever. Rays won last night in a shootout. Did you see? They almost choked it.
I know. They were up 8-1.
They were up 8-1, and they ended up being 13-9.
That's Colorado. They just hit.
So anyway, when we
it looked like they were loading up the scorer, and then all of a sudden they needed all those runs.
Yeah.
You know?
When we return, man, the WNBA. Oh my God.
WNBA.
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. You know what the problem is? The problem is when you have lesbians who are trying to be something other than a lesbian. When you're
what does that mean, Bubba?
Meaning, okay.
Please elaborate.
I'm going to elaborate, then I'm going to go into words, and then we'll come back with this whole WNBA. I got like 5 or 6 stories to do from the WNBA. So lesbians need to stay in their lane. You're a lesbian. You're attracted to women. You aren't attracted to men, but you're attracted to women. You're not trans. You know what? Nobody in the trans community is a lesbian. They're trans. They're weirdos. They're whack jobs.
Actually, they're all lesbians.
But they're not trying to be lesbian. Well, not really. I mean, if you look at a guy that's trying to be a girl, is he really a lesbian? No.
He's gay because he's trying to be a girl to attract other guys.
So he's gay.
So he's gay.
So
trans people tend to be really gay.
I know. Then stick to your gay lane. Like, don't be these out, the WNBA I heard is like 60, 70% lesbian. You know what? Start having a lesbian initiative. Be an expert on lesbianism.
It's carpet day.
Nobody's going to be offended by you promoting lesbianism. We as men like it.
Yeah,
we like lesbians. We do. I wouldn't have a problem if 2 chicks were battling out in the WNBA. One chick made a layup and then they started kissing. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. So anyway,
but Dave Chappelle summarized it really well when he said there's this they make this big car and they put the gay guy and the lesbian girl and then they put the bisexual person and then they put the queer person and then they put the trans person and the trans person
is in the trunk.
No, not in the trunk, but they're screwing it up for everybody else because they're not a monolithic group. They have different needs and concerns, and to slap them all together into one fish tank doesn't work.
All of this nonsense, like the coach Cheryl Reeve, who wore the Trans Kids Belong shirt, and people that are sticking up for Sophie Cunningham's statement where girls need to play with girls and boys need to play with boys. And then Angel Reese gets on here and wants to say that she never played with any Barbie dolls because they were all white. And it's just like, man, the WNBA, you guys are supposed to play women's basketball, not be the spokesperson or, the platform where weirdness and wokeness is promoted and trying to, it's just ridiculous. It's not the platform for anything other than girls basketball. And you know what? We'll throw lesbianism in there because the majority of the girls that play the sport are lesbian.
Actually, they have come out now and said that only 31% of the WNBA has lesbian players.
All right, fine. You can still promote 31% is a decent percentage. So
it's no problem with that. But the problem with the WNBA, Bubba, is they caught lightning in a bottle with Caitlin Clark. and they are taking that glass bottle and slamming it against the ground every day, and they're going to shatter it and lose it.
Yep. Everywhere you turn, the WNBA has, and there's a news story about them, and it isn't anything that potentially aligns with the average American that could potentially be either an existing fan of the WNBA or potentially a new fan of the WNBA. When you see these press conferences, it doesn't make you want to say, wow, I haven't really checked out the WNBA prior, but since this person just said some cool stuff, I'm going to go watch a couple games. No, instead it's like, hold on, they got head coaches that are promoting trans kids belong. We got, this one girl who's a race baiter trying to say that she didn't play with Barbie dolls because they weren't white.
They made black Barbies, though.
I know they did.
Was her mom couldn't find a black Barbie in the hood?
Angel Reese now has her own Barbie, and she wants to promote it at the hands of the fact that she never got to play with Barbies because there were no black ones.
Got long eyelashes?
I don't know. I have no idea. We'll get into the WNBA nonsense, absolutely nonsense, and this all is derived from the fact that they don't have a commissioner. They have lost their way.
Well, they do have a commissioner, right?
No, yeah,
but she's weak.
She's absolutely a joke. She's absolutely a joke, and the reason why this sports organization, the wheels have fallen off, they're woke, they're weird, is because the commissioner is allowing them to do this. And it's just absolutely a joke. It's to the point where, you know what, Lummy, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really that enthused about watching any more games. Even with Caitlin Clark, I'm really not feeling it.
You're going to, pretty much boycott it?
I'm not going to boycott it more than I'm going to just not really care.
To ignore it?
Boycotting would be me actively getting on my various platforms and saying, don't watch it. I'm not going to do that, but I'm just not going to personally watch it. I'm not going to seek it out when I'm looking at my Sunday sports programming and I got a chance to watch the Cornhole Championships or I got a chance to watch, the Fever versus, I'm just going to probably watch Cornhole, something I really don't care about. We'll get into that next.
Quite simply, you're listening to pure filth, and he's damn proud of it. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
Cornhole, WNBA, and then we'll tease
of 16 crew chief.
It's Barbecue Pitmaster and Barry Hoden, Jay Mothershead, Johnny K. Steele, Big Buck, Dirt Merchant, Bob Cook, Mad Mike, Jeff Coy, Dave Rocks.
Dirt Merchant, Bubba Nation, Good Morning, Hello, Joe, Shadow Panda. What's up, Cable Dog?
What's up, Chaos Possum Racing? I don't have a concoction for lymphoma. Barbecue Pit. And Jay Granchi. Yinzer, Big Buck, Pudgy Balls, Foot Rubs, 16 Crew Chief,
Roberto,
Puff Adder, Mad Props Media, don't agree, Pinky, Tesla, Mad, what is it? Mad Mike, that's all Mad Props Media. Austin Wolf. Louis. Jack Jean, Jack Lee. 305. Berto. What's up, Snook Slayer? Fuck the statins.
You good, bud?
Jack of the Dogs. Snook Slayer. That Twart. Snow Run. Kona Cuts. Carlton. Jerkism. Chub Up. Jesse. Mike M. 48 fan. Dippy. Bubba. Driver 1766. Is that PETA, Jennifer?
Hey, let me.
Very much. He walked out, buddy.
Okay, I'm good.
You don't need anything? I mean, whatever, dude. That wasn't even that bad a few years ago. Now they fucking throw a fit over it. Snook Slayer. Glenn Lonker. Top U.S. Marine MC 8541 tap. Doesn't really roll off your tongue. Mike. Warren. Yeah, probably. Eggs do it the worst. If you eat eggs, you're fucking yourself with cholesterol. They jack it up fast. They pops. Yeah, avoid the yolks. Like if you have 3 eggs, have 1 yolk and 3 egg whites. I'm saying it's the egg yolks we're getting you. You want a little bit for flavor, but. Big Buck, I went to the track about a month ago, but then I've been in Jersey and stuff. And Sunday I was supposed to go, but poured all day. So.
Let me.
Sure.
I texted you and Gary something. I need to.
Okay.
Trash guy. You got a name, Rhythmia?
So hot.
Guys, your wife is hot. With soaringly high summer temperatures, it's time to get her a box. Watch romantic movies, thrilling series, shows to set the mood, baseball, soccer, racing, and the fights for you to enjoy too. All the programming Get a Box is famous for in crystal clear HD. It's so easy to set up, even your buddy with a VCR can hook it up. You know what else is too hot? That cable bill. It has more junk fees than a used car lot. This summer is the right time to enjoy a box. Today, with promo code Bubba, you can get $25 off any box. Go to getabox.com, promo code Bubba for your box today. Getabox.com.
Stay inside with your hot wife and never pay for TV again.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all of the Bubba Army. Now returns.
Was looking at the deadly intention numbers. Don't forget a new deadly intentions crime, true crime. It's in the true crime category. It'll drop Thursday at 10. Deadly Intentions Show on the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in Deadly Intention Show. Follow us. There's 2 of them. The Garden State Killer and the Gilgo Beach Killer. And I don't know what... can you get with Gary and let me know what's coming up this... I think it might be the Reyes guy. From Washington that, remember, killed the girl from the beverage barn, then took her back to his garage and then went on a 10-day cruise, killed her, then went on a 10-day cruise, but because it was like January or February, his garage stayed so cool and cold and it preserved the body So when he got back from the cruise, he put makeup on her and used fishing wire to open up her eyes, and then used that day's newspaper to make her hold it with her dead arms and propped her up, and then tried to act like she was alive and for ransom money, and sent that to the newspaper and to her family to try to get ransom money. Yeah, this is I think this guy's name's Israel Reyes. It's unbelievable. Go to Deadly Intentions Show. Follow us. We're about halfway in viewing hours to be monetized. I think by the end of August we'll be monetized. I
can see that.
I think so. Yes. So do that. You know how I mentioned, we're going to get into the WNBA stuff here, but I'd also mentioned that I find myself on Sundays perusing around maybe something to find sports related, and I like F1, but I don't like NASCAR. I like Indy.
You're over NASCAR now?
I'm over NASCAR.
You were so into it like 15 years ago.
Yeah, well,
and you completely hate it now?
Yeah, I mean, I might watch the last 10 laps, maybe. But I like IRL. I like F1. And so I stumbled upon the cornhole, like a cornhole tournament.
Oh, yeah?
But cornhole's not even fun because they've gotten so good that like 75 or 80% of every throw goes in the hole. So, like, that's not even really a thing anymore. So, and I, used to be a big fan of the WNBA until all this weirdness goes down. Here's the coach. Her name is Cheryl Reeve, and she's the coach of, I think, the Minnesota Lynx, which I think is the best team in the league.
She's got so much upper lip. She could have a Freddie Mercury mustache and still have lip showing.
With buck teeth. Man, Freddie Mercury had some buck teeth.
He sure did. He said he had too many teeth. He had extra teeth.
Like a shark?
In the movie, yeah.
So anyway, this is the bitch that wore a T-shirt that says trans kids belong when trying to troll Sophie Cunningham because the Indiana Fever played this woman's team on Sunday. So what she come out with? A trans kids belong shirt. When really, I don't know what this woman's sexuality is, but let's say that she's either heterosexual or she's gay. She's either a lesbian or she likes dudes. It's about the only two lanes you can be in, ain't it?
I don't know how many dudes like her.
Well,
I think she's a lesbian. It looks like she's married to another woman.
Okay, so she's a lesbian.
Okay, cool.
Lesbians are not trans.
Nope.
And so you're only wearing this trans shirt because Sophie Cunningham, a person that you're playing, went out and didn't say anything shocking, didn't say anything wrong. She just said Sophie Cunningham, being a heterosexual or even a bisexual or gay woman, whatever Sophie Cunningham is.
She's got a black boyfriend and she's heterosexual.
Okay, great. You guys seem to know all
He's
that.
a basketball
So
coach,
anyway, Sophie Cunningham, being a heterosexual woman that is in a relationship with an African-American man, there's nothing wrong with that. She did a press conference or had a soundbite where she said she didn't agree with the transitioning boys that disguise themselves as girls playing against girls. Now, that's just common sense. That's what the average American thinks. And so what happens? This bitch has to troll her. I think as a head coach of an organization, the head coach shouldn't be trolling the other players that you're playing.
No.
Like, don't you have better things to do? Well, yes, she does, to answer the question.
If Todd Bowles was playing Aaron Rodgers and had some kind of stupid, mushroom shirt on or something to troll, that's so trivial.
If Todd Bowles had a ayahuasca-powered shirt on, right?
Exactly, just to try to be stupid and funny.
Right.
He looked like such, it minimizes his legitimacy as the leader.
It's so petty.
It is.
That how can you lead your team when you're worried about a player on the other team's personal dealings, not anything that he did in the game, not anything he did as a player, because during his personal time he went on a ayahuasca retreat. Now you're going to make that a thing. And great analogy, Dan, and the fact that it's like so beneath a person that's a head coach. When you got 53 men that you're responsible for coaching up, right? Motivating and prepping and putting the best potential game plan in to beat that guy that's in your head, quite frankly. And so this bitch, not only does she, does her opinion, does she want to troll the opposite teammate's, star player based on a no-brainer press conference that she said that we all think the same way, but now she wants to use her power and her form as the head coach of the WNBA's best record. She now wants to say she disagrees with men that get head coaching jobs in lieu of women. In the WNBA, I think it's the majority coaches are women.
Interestingly, Title IX was not supposed to help women become coaches. It was supposed to help student athletes
protect themselves against playing against
athletes. And so Title IX should be protecting women, not trying to encourage female coaches in college. That's stupid.
So that same thing, apply that same thing.
No, Title IX is not applied towards who's the head coach of the team. Title IX is supposed to protect women to play against
female college student athletes,
to play against fellow female college student athletes.
Yeah,
female. It's to protect the Leah Thomas bitches that finished 290th as a man, but won the girls' swimming state championship, or I should say NCAA's. That's what Title IX is all about.
Now she's trying to defend right now trans athletes in sports. So there's two issues here. The first one is how would she feel if she played a team where all 5 starters were trans men, and she got her ass whooped, 99-30. Secondly, the shirt she wore had nothing to do with trans athletes. It says, trans children matter?
Trans kids.
Trans kids matter.
Belong. Trans kids belong.
Okay, so it tries to be less inflammatory that way, but here is the hidden message. And this is something that I heard recently and was really enlightening to me. In natural child and adolescent development, a lot of people think for a period of time that they belong on the other sex. It's very common to have that. I
never thought that in my entire life.
Well, I know you were busy, choking out monkeys, but a child often goes to I want to be a ballerina, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a woman, I want to be a giraffe. They want to be all kinds of different things. But most of the time, by the time they get to puberty, they outgrow that distortion because it's a fantasy. It's a fleeting feeling. It doesn't last. So when you embrace,
I think there's some parenting involved in that too.
Right. But when you start embracing trans kids at a young age, when they're still delusional, and you grab them out of the system and start manipulating them with more support and hormones and surgeries, then you're taking in this group, because if you have 100 kids that are 8 years old that think they may want to be 100 boys that think they may want to be a girl, by the time that same 100 people are 17, that it's a much smaller group.
Well,
so if they grow out of it. So if they capture them when they're young and still into this fantasy, they can keep them in that system. So what she's saying, by really grooming children to be trans, she is a monster.
Oh, why did it blow up? Why did the WNBA blow up? Are we all going to stick our heads in the sand and not really be honest as to why and who blew it up? Or are we going to sit here and just say, very loose knit, the WNBA blew up? Well, you know what? It had 25. How long had it been a league prior to Caitlin Clark walking in? 20 years?
99, I think, was the first year.
99. So for, nearly
25 years.
22, 23 years. Whatever. 20 plus years, the WNBA had the opportunity for anybody to come in and make it, as they would say, blow up.
Sorry, 97.
So, 25 plus years from the Cheryl Millers to just all the great women that this league was established on, the backs that the women of that this league was established on, not a one of them, and not to be disrespectful to any of them, not a one of them made a difference to the point where you were getting better television contracts, selling out arenas. No, that is attributed to one person, and we never want to just call a spade a spade. Yet 25 years prior to this one person walks into the league, and all of a sudden it blows up. And everybody from this bitch on my screen to everybody benefited from it. Everybody benefited from it. Nobody wants to acknowledge her. Nobody wants to give her flowers. But everybody wants to benefit from it. And everybody knows it happens. But God forbid that you give, credit where credit's is the same bitch that wore a trans kids belong shirt to just try to thwart Sophie Cunningham's a player that she is playing against this past Sunday, and she wears a trans kid. I'm the commissioner. I got a problem with that. Then I got a problem with you saying that our hiring practices of who we put in as a head coach it has anything to do with your opinion.
We need
to coach your team and shut up.
There's more men now. There's 8 men and 7 women coaches. So the men are taking over. Yes.
Man, Gutfield really broke it down. This is actually quite brilliant, and it goes, I think, a little bit along the lines. I remember watching it earlier this morning. If I remember right, it goes along the lines of what Dan just said.
Yeah, it makes sense when you hear him say it because he puts it in perspective so eloquently.
And just kind of down along the lines of what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
That
there we go.
shirt says it all. Trans kids belongs. That takes it right out of this little debate that we're having. How do you diagnose trans kids? What's the time frame in which you could say, I have a trans kid? There's no way to do it. If there is a phase, nearly all of them exit it. This was a change in activism, okay? Think about it. Why not wait? Kids going through a phase, why not wait? Because they disappear. The phase goes away. They either become gay, they become lesbian. So why do they do it? Why would you go after children? Childhood gender dysphoria is a transient developmental phenomenon. It's not a fixed identity. So what is behind the idea of trying to fix it? It's because the intervention actually perpetuates it. It creates a higher persistence of the dysphoria. People don't talk about this. Why do you think it bothered me so much when they talked about pronouns or having kids change clothes in the where boys dressed up as girls in Drag Queen Story Hour, or even the name changes? And why did I find that deeply immoral? Because it created a higher persistence of the dysphoria. It was a self-reinforcement, and it warped the natural development of a child. That woman wearing that shirt has no idea what she's talking about. This isn't Bigfoot.
She has no idea. All she knows is the opposing player, one of the star opposing players, had a comment with regards to her opinion on trans boys playing against girls. And she was trying to protect the average little girl that potentially might be exposed to a boy in competition. And then this bitch, as the opposing coach, has to roll out with this. If I was the league, I'd fine her. Look, that's not the message we're trying. We're not trying to this message and or goat, the opposing players. We're not trying to do that. That's not what your head coaching responsibility is.
Wearing a Loch Ness Monster t-shirt where it's fake and it doesn't hurt anybody, that actually destroys lives. She's an idiot and she's a coward.
Jesse, I think this is really about some of those coaches wanting players with a biological advantage on their teams so they have a higher winning percentage.
Well,
I think that's why you're...
I mean, you know what? The WNBA has somewhat painted itself into a corner now where you're going to allow your highest profile coach who has the best record in the WNBA to wear this T-shirt underneath a sport jacket during a game, trying to get under Sophie Cunningham's skin.
But it undermines the entire sport.
It does. And so what they ought to do is you put your money where your mouth is. If you're going to allow your coach, your most highest profile coach, to wear this particular T-shirt that says trans kids belong, then you ought to start letting transitioning men that are transitioning into women play in your league. Ooh. You've done all you've beat around the bush every aspect that you can without the final phase of that, which is allowing. You are so pro-trans. You're the most popular sanctioning professional athletic body that is this trans friendly. You don't see anybody from the NBA doing this. You don't see anybody from the NFL. You don't see anybody from the NHL.
But Bubba,
Major League Baseball. Nobody's trying. No head coach from any of the organizations I just mentioned are wearing pro-trans kid belong T-shirts. So put your money where your mouth is and start signing up some of these men that identify as women to start playing on your teams.
And go one step further. How do you think they would react if another coach said, keep girls in girls' sports or keep boys out of girls' sports?
I mean, Sophie Cunningham said that.
She said that in an interview, but she didn't wear a shirt on the court during the TV broadcast.
Because she has
class.
And she, she's not listening. She's not monitoring other people's press conferences and trying to, you know what? Sophie Cunningham goes out and does her job. She was asked this question. She answered it honestly, and she doesn't go out and troll other people's opinions and or media conferences. She does her job. This is how bad the league has gotten. Watch, it starts with refereeing. It starts with just how inept they are at refereeing. This is where it starts. Watch this, Lummy. This is not a travel. Ready?
Okay. All right, this game was the most rigged game ever. Look at this. It came down to a travel. She took 3 steps before dribbling, and the game came down to a travel called an Aaliyah Boston. But let's get started. They called this a foul.
By the way, I don't know why they didn't. I watched this game live, at least the last quarter of it, and I don't know why Stephanie Miller, the head coach of the Fever, did not. They had a challenge left, and they played this like 3 times, and Caitlin got the ball every time. They called this a foul. Or watch.
Boston, but let's get started. They called this a foul right then on the shot on Caitlin Clark.
Now watch the instant replay.
And then when they replay it, Caitlin Clark does not come near her body.
Watch the replay.
Blocked that shot. Should have been a shot block. Look at this.
Doesn't touch. Let me just rewind it a little bit. Does not touch.
Should have been a shot block. Look at this. And we had a close game at the end of the third.
That's called a foul.
That's all ball. That's all ball. And then look at this one. We had to use a challenge on. If I was a referee, I would sue.
No, yeah. They called that a foul. The Indiana player doesn't even come close. Check.
If I was a referee, I would sue my eye doctor because they didn't get that prescription right. This one had me thinking, if you're part of the LGBTQ, you shouldn't be able to be official in the WNBA. The coach is wearing...
That was called a foul on Sophie Cunningham.
That trans kids belong shirt.
With her trans shirt, yeah.
And they call a foul for Sophie Cunningham. The only one that came out to speak was she's getting rocked in the jaw. Then Caitlin Clark, another ghost foul. Like, they don't let her play defense.
Do you solve this, Bubba?
She can't play defense. But the official...
Discovery.
What do you mean?
What happens during discovery?
Oh, and we were talking legal processes.
Depositions.
I know.
And so one of these girls needs to sue the WNBA because they have literally fixed it against them. And I guarantee they will find emails saying that's okay.
Collusion.
There's collusion amongst the referees, the other coaches, the commissioner, and they're allowing this. It's the discrepancy.
Much like Colin Kaepernick was able to prove collusion.
Right.
The general managers had talked amongst each other, saying, "Hey, this guy's a problem. You don't want to get you." So and he
there's
won.
No way. There's not collusion here.
He won
systematic.
He won $75 million,
and he deserved it because they were screwing him.
And John Gruden's the next to win.
Yep.
They colluded against him.
Assistant, they won't call this a foul. Kelsey Mitchell gets hit out of the air, and then the game came down to this. Where's the foul at? That's a shooting foul? And Olivia Miles, oh, she's such a bad person because she screams at the referee during games. What a horrible human being. That's what they say about Caitlin Clark. And then call this a foul on Aaliyah Boston. It's ridiculous.
I mean, that's how, Lummy, the commissioner, starts, getting stuff done. Here's Angel Reese, the biggest race baiter. Again, all of this are issues that the WNBA have from your number one coach that is wearing trans kid belong shirts in retaliation of Sophie Cunningham, to the inability to be able to call, like the Indiana Fever, just because they have Caitlin Clark and Sophia Cunningham, they just get. I mean, we just watched a minute 50 reel of 10 different incidences from this past Sunday's game that were blatant, that were absolutely blatant. Now you got Angel Reese, who is a complete race baiter.
Honestly, I didn't have a lot of dolls because I didn't have dolls that really looked like me much.
I didn't have a bunch of dolls because I didn't have dolls that looked like me, and that's why.
That's why I kind of really wanted to make sure this was super intentional because now they have.
Now, let me. Is this the new Angel Reese Barbie doll?
Yes, it is.
Right there. There you go.
White hair.
Let's go ahead and give the biggest race baiter in the league her own African-American doll.
Yeah, I just newsflash. She becomes coach of the Orlando Magic, and they go 20-60.
What if Caitlin Clark had her own white Barbie doll? They would be raising all kinds of hell. All kinds of hell. But let me thank God we got some important people like Greg Gutfeld, Fox News, that are trying to, expose how bad this league is.
It's so clear here on the WNBA. Sophie's alone. She's alone right now.
I think there are a lot of people that agree with her. They just don't want us to talk about it.
But that's even worse.
Yeah, it is.
That's even worse. That you're going to allow one of your colleagues that's trying to protect all of you guys.
I mean, the commissioner this is the root of all of it. The commissioner.
As if it's a controversial point of view to say that the men should play in the men's league and the women should play in the women's league. And right now.
And that's so controversial that your number one coach has to wear a T-shirt refuting that from another player that they're playing against.
All the attention and scrutiny, they're going to try to suppress her. Thank God that her advertising is going up and many people are backing her right now. But she's essentially the only person in the WNBA saying that there should be fairness there. I mean, are you guys crazy? Do you understand what's going to happen to your league? The NBA already subsidizes the WNBA already, right? So the league was on its heels. They're trying to get rid of Caitlin, who has been a generational talent, has brought more.
This guy gets it, but nobody else is really saying this.
Balls on there. The moment that guys walk onto the practice field and start competing there, the sport is going to be done. No one is going to watch. So
he's saying if you allow what you're claiming you support, meaning trans kids belong, which means you're trans friendly at that point, and you put your money where your mouth is, and you're going to allow these men that are transitioning into women into your sport, it's over. Your sport is officially over. Be careful what you wish for. And because you have such a weak commissioner, I wouldn't be surprised that it happens.
Just don't understand the end goal of these women right here, because if they are saying that this is okay, then don't be surprised next season when you see dudes come up at the practice facility and say, I want to try out for the team. Because
they need that to happen bad. Like a guy from, let's say, like IU or Michigan or Ohio State or North Carolina or Duke or Florida, one of these, major universities. Well, you got a kid that's a freshman or a sophomore. He might be 6'11", 7 foot, but he's got like a sophomore or a junior 7'3" guy in front of him, and he's probably not going to ever be a starter. But he could go to the WNBA and average 75 a game.
He'd be a superstar.
Right. I mean, realistically, imagine a guy like Wemby out there.
Y'all guys have said it's okay. You're letting this.
Yeah, he's right. You have said that template is okay. You've actually had your most successful coach who has the most winningest record from the Minnesota Lynx come out with a T-shirt that says trans kids belong. So you've said that's okay. We support trans kids. They belong. Well, that would be maybe part of your league as well. Put your money where your mouth is.
At the practice facility and say, I want to try out for the team. Because y'all guys have said it's okay. You're letting this young woman stand out there alone, and she's trying to protect all of you guys. I just think that's shameful.
She's right. Sophie Cunningham's trying to protect the sport so that, you know, they continue to play against biological females.
And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Hold on. I think this is actually Sophie Cunningham sticking up for Caitlyn. Nobody will ever stick up for Caitlyn, right?
No.
And they're saying, you know, it pisses her off when people say that Caitlyn's not the face of the league because, you know, everybody's a bunch of jealous bitches.
And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as
I love it.
Yeah, she's right.
You're literally dumb as right?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Aaron Rodgers, you know, remember, Lummy, when the whole COVID deal was, you know, went down and he was with the Packers and they asked him if he got vaccinated. And I think he wordsmithed around it. What did he say? He said, I am protected.
Yes, he said protected. Exactly, which he was taking prophylaxis.
Yeah.
I forget what he said. Lummy, will you look at what he
Yes.
said, and they tore him apart. I mean, they tore the guy apart to the point where they almost didn't let him play.
Mm-hmm.
And they made him to be a bad
He
guy.
was immunized.
I'm immunized.
Yeah.
I'm immunized. And at that point, Dan, that could be ivermectin. That could be deoxycycline. That could be a Z-Pack. That could be zinc. That could be a nebulizer. You know, that's you know, that's
And that could be a shot of B12 because it did about as much for you as
Right.
vaccination-wise as the COVID shot did.
You're immunized, and you know, by what you and your professional medical consultant and or doctor thinks is most effective against this particular situation, coronavirus. That doesn't have to necessarily go by WHO guidelines. And at the time, if you went against WHO guidelines or Tony Fauci, you were an absolute irresponsible asshole that were putting other people at risk. Remember that? They'd throw that on you. Oh, well, you know, you didn't get vaccinated, so at the end of the day, you really don't care about other people, do you? Because what if they breathe your air through your non-N95 mask, or you do not create social distancing, both of which don't matter. Both of which
None of it mattered, dude. All of it was a lie. Every single thing.
And so when they made somebody to be an asshole because you didn't toe the corporate COVID line, realistically, you weren't the asshole. The people that called you the asshole were the asshole. And there's a lot more of those than there were people like Aaron Rodgers, because a lot of people were afraid, didn't have the standing and or swagger that Aaron Rodgers had, and, you know, stood up to these people. Said, I'm not getting jabbed. There's a guy that sits right across the counter from us in this room right now that was the same thing. Damn near lost his privileges at various hospitals and surgery centers. I mean, fought it tooth and nail. Had the Department of Florida, medicine, the board come down on him. I mean, this guy it was touch and go for Dan. All because he wouldn't suck Big Pharma's D.
And Diacos are snobs. The reason we're talking about COVID-19 is because Fauci was just exposed for, like I've said for 6 years, lying through his teeth about all aspects of the disease.
To the point where he had to play he lied so bad that he had to plead the fifth during his congressional oversight hearing, because he absolutely there were emails and records showing that he didn't believe what he was spewing to the American public, and in fact he knew what he was spewing and mandating to the American public was wrong.
Right, but how does Howard Stern, who literally shamed and rejected everyone around him if they didn't believe exactly like he and Fauci believed, And now it's been shown that they were completely 100% wrong based on fraud.
I don't know how those people.
How do you reconcile? The problem is they have this cognitive dissonance.
I don't know how you defend that, because, I mean, Howard said some very disturbing things, including but not limited to. And listen, nobody is. I love Howard. I to this day will always support Howard. Never speak an ill word of him. I do speak in question form, though, when I say, there's an excerpt of him floating around saying, if you don't get the vaccination and something to do with all Republicans, I hate you. And I don't want you to listen to the show. I quit you, and I don't want you to listen to the show because you're an idiot, and you're stupid, and you're retarded.
Right, and they were painting us as dumb.
And I am very much paraphrasing on what really was said. I mean, you might be able to find it.
Yeah.
But it's very, 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 very coming back, and it didn't age well.
No.
It's not aging well. And Fauci is so wrong that he can't even answer any questions at all. Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee Show. They touched upon him being spun as the bad guy back in the day, and he doesn't hold back. Like, he thinks Tony Fauci is a complete criminal, is an absolute asshole, and he tells Pat McAfee that.
And just so you know, hot dog.
There's not enough soap in the world to make him clean up his act.
Get out of my sight.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Put yourself over.
Mandatory to get vaccinated. Fuck them, fuck their freedom. I want my freedom to live. Good job, Felix. Good morning, Big Red. Yeah, no, I think it's good.
What did you say?
Good trade.
It shows they want to win.
Yeah.
It's not big red.
I mean, the new owners actually went out and did something.
Last year they did 0 trades, right?
Oh, they don't do. Yeah, I mean they've not been noted to trading much at all.
Yeah,
We trade people away.
Yeah, Sternberg was holding tight there. He didn't want to.
Yeah.
We got rid of Caballero, whatever his name was, to the Yankees.
Well, we got rid of Price. We got rid of Upton. We got rid of Crawford. We got rid of Pena. We got rid of fucking Glasgow. We got rid of fucking Snell. We got rid of what was that kid that went to Pirates? That Archer. We got rid of. I mean, as soon as these guys were due to make the big money, we traded him in there last year, didn't we, Lummy?
Yeah, I mean, I would say they've been like 50-50 on it.
No, we got fleeced on a couple of them.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but there's been a couple of like the pitchers that they just absolutely sucked. Once they left.
The first one to start this was probably Crawford.
He was.
When he signed with, was it the
Red Sox?
Red Sox for like what, $128 million or something?
Yeah. He was pretty much the first one that's put it up. The first young player that left.
Then came, then BJ, then Longo, and
I can't believe Longo paid for safety.
Bubba. Back to Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Listener supported at The Bubba Army on Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Bubba the Love Sponge Show!
PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at the Bubba Army. Ashley and Merch Crick were talking yesterday. Let me getting people's totals, and
yes.
I think Ashley now has a column for merch too. I don't know that she started that process on merch yet.
She made the column. She's just waiting for
the data.
Yeah, it's easier for when she gets it all just to put it in.
And we'll probably, for those that are like $1,500, you're God, you've gotten that close to 2,000. We just want to let you know the cutoff is September 15th, which will be like a month and it's about 6 weeks from now.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, so if we'll reach out to you if we think that you're close enough that you would potentially care to hit the $2,000 threshold. You can do it through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Your merchandise is also equated into that. Also, your super chat, Twitch bits, all of it. Ashley, I saw her little spreadsheet yesterday, and she's so good at that. She's so good at that.
She's a pro.
She is. Is she an accountant by trade?
No. She's a data analyst.
Well, that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with, spreadsheets and things like that. Like, she certainly understands how to work all that.
She knows numbers.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you to her.
Yeah, no problem.
As we're roughing this in, I think we're going to be more prepared. I think we'll probably have a full report in about 2 weeks, and that way we can start reaching out to the people that are desperately close. Like if you're $1,800, why? It's like you almost blew that $1,800. Well, you didn't blow it because you're supporting your favorite show, and that's one of our one of the ways we stay on the air and provide great content for you guys. But we need to give you the opportunity to be able to understand how close you are to qualifying for not only a very prestigious event, a 3-day event called BARP, which this year, Lummy, more than ever, is going to be at a real venue, planned by a real event planner. This is going to be the year you wouldn't want to miss it. We're not going to have it in a parking lot with Domino's Pizza. I'm going to have
classy.
It's going to be classy. So, like, if you were like, there's a couple people that are like 18, 25, you're just so close to hitting the 2,000 threshold, which gets you the Bubba Army championship royalty ring, invitation to the party. Isn't it usually August 15th that we do the Hall of Fame?
No, we did do that in the beginning, and then we switched it over to September. I think it was September 1st.
September 1st.
Because it led people up to just that whole week, 2 weeks leading up to the money
We
deal.
need to pick a show that we do the Hall of Fame. And I need to get with you privately to kind of rough it in. You know what I'm saying? Rough it in, so to speak. And, what do we have, up to 10? Well, we've had 12 before, have we not?
Yeah.
Anywhere between 10 and 16.
There you go.
Right. Here's Aaron Rodgers. And you know what, Dan, this makes me kind of like Aaron. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, even though what he went through with the Packers and things. But this kind of makes me appreciate him more, because some people think that he's eclectic and he's, publicly admitted to doing ayahuasca and, what have you. But, I genuinely appreciate him more because he was correct.
Yeah, I mean, he's choked so many playoffs, more than most kids have ever choked their own chicken, but I do respect him for what he's saying here. And so I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan. I don't like him in general, but I love what he did here.
Right, and as much as they made him and bastardized him to be the bad guy, and he's doing, he's Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers smart-ass wordsmith type games, which people were,
He's a smart guy. No, he's an intelligent guy, and people call him a dumbass.
No.
Just like when Tom Cruise said that these SSRIs are killing kids, and it was he's twisted.
He's right.
He was 100% right.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers, 100% right. Dan Diaco, for 5 years, 100% right. And all these other ass clowns want to listen to Don Lemon and Fauci and Biden and all these other jackasses in charge that claim to know what the frick they're talking about, instead of going and doing your own research. Guys, you lazy sons of bitches out there, pick up a book, do some research, learn for yourself instead of getting spoon-fed the national narrative.
Trigger warning, trigger.
Jesus Christ.
Trigger. Speaking about myself in first person, trigger.
View this year versus maybe the years of the past.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay.
And I still believe in the right system with protection. This guy is as good as anybody in the league.
Oh yeah.
With protection, I wish things would have happened differently between him and the Packers. I would have loved. I think what they did with Jordan Love was disrespectful. How they brought Jordan Love in, didn't let him know. Pretty much, kind of. I just thought the Packers did not handle it like they should have, and I think that he still had a lot left in his tank, 4 years ago when they made this decision. And I still think that, with Mike McCarthy, who has obviously had success, won a Super Bowl with this guy. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl with this guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Against the Steelers.
Yeah, that was one time.
And, Mike McCarthy knows this guy's limitations. This guy knows that he needs protection. But I think the offense that Mike McCarthy's building or installing into Pittsburgh is a variation of what Aaron's already ran in Green Bay.
Yeah, he's familiar with it.
And so,
do you think Pat McAfee got a talk from ESPN or ABC after this?
About this?
After this whole...
No, I don't think... You know why? Because I don't think, and Dan might be able to help me here, I think corporately people have completely changed. They've done an about face with regards to you being able to talk about COVID. When you have congressional hearings and you have emails from, let's listen, I think we all would admit that Tony Fauci was deemed the COVID czar. Was he not?
100%.
Okay, so when you got emails that are being brought up, not on ABC or NBC or 60 Minutes or any credible news source, but instead the United States Senate and an oversight committee, you're sworn, and the person that was the COVID czar testifies the Fifth Amendment on every question. They asked him what color his tie was, and he said, I plead the Fifth Amendment. They asked him, what day it was. So when you got the guy that pounded his chest and that everything we did as Americans went through him and his recommendations.
I am science.
And when he now is a known liar and cannot answer questions from his own email correspondence with colleagues and people in this space, and that we had to, as Americans, just sit there and take whatever he decided, whatever he decided, whether it's closing restaurants down, closing the airlines down, wearing an N95 mask, getting vaccinated, everything that
costing you money and taking you off, stripping you of your livelihood, Bubba, taking you off your platforms where you depend on that finance.
I don't think that any network is going to take a guy like Pat McAfee, a huge commodity, that's talking to another guy and Aaron Rodgers about real lifetime experiences, because the question goes on once I play it here, how do you feel about, because Aaron Rodgers went down as the bad guy because when asked whether he'd been vaccinated, Aaron Rodgers, while he was a Green Bay Packer, said, "I've been immunized." Everybody took that and ran with the fact that he had some other concoction other than the vax and made him out to be a complete asshole, to the point where the league almost stepped in. Lummy, I do think that, and you can look this up, but I think that he was excluded from some of the Green Bay practices due to the fact that he wasn't vaccinated. I think that they set him aside and put him on the back burner for some drills. I could be wrong.
He had to pay $14,650 for breaking COVID-19 protocols.
So hold on, Dan. He had to pay $15,000. Don't you think he should be calling up Roger Goodell and be like, "Hey, asshole, I need my $14,600 back because I was right and you were wrong."
Plus interest. Yeah, I would. I mean, I would. Every person that got fined, got delayed, got deplatformed, got fired. Every one of them should be suing.
YouTube should give me 2 weeks of what earnings used to be back then.
Absolutely, they should. They absolutely should. Everyone, all at once, should overwhelm the system with filing these suits.
So, Lummy,
they did it to us.
My question to you, my answer to you, Lummy, is I don't think ESPN, I don't think Disney, I don't think ABC, I don't think anybody goes to a major talent and says, "Hey, man, let's be careful on what you." I think it's wide open on anybody's opinion with regards to COVID, due to the fact that the person that we had to live by and abide by is now being shown to be a absolute liar. Congressionally.
Well, he did poke at ESPN a little bit later, about how they're covering Mike Vrabel.
The years of the past.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay. Okay.
Gotta
love that guy. Okay.
Like that absolute coward, Tony Fauci.
Yeah, hell yeah. Have you seen this, Dan?
Yes, I did.
Absolute coward.
Yeah.
Hey, it's back, baby. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, 111
You
times.
got a pardon and you're in front and you pleaded over 100 times at the White House? What are you scared of, Tony?
Yeah.
I thought you were the science.
Yeah.
I thought you were
And Dan, the one thing I love about Aaron is he's pretty well read.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's pretty well read. He's so smart that he was a finalist to become the host of Jeopardy.
Really?
Now, yes.
Yeah. He was on the short list?
He was on the
last 5 guys?
Last 3.
Really?
Yes. And I think in order to be the host of Jeopardy, you got to be smart as hell. And I mean, I think the new, the current host that took over, who was it?
Winningest champion of all time.
Yeah, the winningest champion of all time. The winningest guy of all time is the guy who's now.
He's a smart bastard, too.
Oh, yeah.
Science, and you get up there and you can't answer a question?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And how much time did the network spend at that? How much time did they spend on my responses every week, on my vaccination?
Oh, yeah. Say it.
Status, on Taylor and Travis's wedding?
Yeah!
Did they do even a minute? Did they do even a minute on Tony Fauci?
No, I don't think I've heard anything.
I bet they didn't.
But on that note.
Then there was another scandal this offseason, too, involving a voter for MVP, for Coach of the Year. How much time did your networks...
Talking about Vrabel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ben, what's your did your network spend on?
I got to tell you, he looks like he's in better shape than he's ever been. Does he not, Dan? Look at
Aaron
his
Rodgers?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's in good shape.
I mean, look at his
Looks like
core.
he's healthy.
I
He
can't
looks healthy.
No, I mean, like,
can't criticize him.
He looks. I mean, that his core and that black tight-fitting shirt is about as in shape as I've ever seen the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his
arm's bigger than Pat McAfee's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Our network.
I would love to see Rodgers take the Steelers far. I would love, because I mean he's already made it known this is his last season. Like, he's done.
Oh really? We're finally done?
Yeah, he's publicly said, I'm done. Like, this is my last season. I'm not coming back. So I would love to see him go out big. I really would.
That'd be good.
Go back to
Fauci.
This is awesome. Go back to Fauci?
Yeah.
Go back to the coward Tony Fauci in science?
Hold on now.
Who's spending the entire time writing in his diary about how fun it is to be famous. You got to be kidding me.
Okay, so on that note.
What are you going to say about me now?
Debate him.
He's got a little Dan Diaco in him a little bit. Look at him.
Say about me
No,
now.
I got no debate here. You had a 500.
No, seriously, what are they going to say about me now? Now you can't talk about the COVID stuff because obviously it was made, in a lab in China. That's like not even questionable anymore. Tony Fauci is an absolute criminal.
Yeah.
I'm on good terms with my family. I'm on good terms with my family. What are you going to say now? What are you going to say now?
I want to let you know.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to say about the guy now? He's on good time. He's on good terms with his family. He was right about COVID. Anthony Fauci's a crook and a liar. What are you going to say about Aaron Rodgers now?
And I really hope justice finds Anthony Fauci. I really hope that there's a state that finds him.
Me too.
That can find a legal theory.
How would that go down, Dan? How would it have to formatically go down?
He would have to be found guilty of a criminal charge within a state, and
which there's so many to choose, right?
Right.
I mean,
There's 50 of them, and he did something, and then they'd have to go after him, and then a jury would have to convict him. And I don't think it would be difficult for a jury to convict him based on what they've seen for the last couple months.
You try this in the Floridas, the Alabamas, the Louisianas, the Georgias, the Indianas, the Kentuckys, the Tennessees, the Texases, the hardcore red states out there that are going to have a jury pool of potential red state, red. This guy, I mean, you only need one state, but if you had 12, 13, 18 states that, laid, much like I think, Dan, didn't all the states gather around and sue the opiate business, the big pharma, and with regards to the opiate, crisis?
And they could go after Fauci. They could go after Moderna. They could go after Johnson & Johnson. They could go after the U.S. government, the Department of Defense, who actually organized a lot of this stuff. In addition, people could sue Fauci civilly.
Personally?
Civilly.
So, I hope he's got syphilis.
But here, Bubba, here's the thing.
Civilly.
Say, okay, so what are there, like maybe 30 red states, if you want to call it like that? 35 red states?
30, let's call it 30.
Okay, so say 10
30
of those.
solid ones that always, you got your Wisconsins and your Michigans and your Ohios that are kind of purple where, they'll go one way or the other, but you got 30 solid reds.
So imagine if half of those states, if 15 states try to go after him criminally, and what's going to happen to him? He'll be broke.
I mean,
he's got to defend himself.
You got to hire a bunch of Todd Fosters and Kevin Hazlett and Jay Diacos. You got to hire a team of those guys, right? Probably one in every state.
Trump stayed out of jail, but he had to win the presidency, and it cost him tens of millions of dollars in legal fees, and Fauci does not have that kind of money.
I just sent you where it looks like the different states are launching an investigation.
Oh, so Dan, this is where it potentially starts, right?
And Florida's one of them.
All right, hold on. Let's get into this before we go into words, and then I guess Trump cut a promo on the oil companies yesterday, which we were, I think, a couple days. I don't know if Dan was here or not. I think it was last week.
I think it was Gene.
Yeah, where the oil companies now, the petroleum companies are showing the last quarter, the second quarter, which was May, June, July. I'm sorry, January, February, March, April, May, June. They just closed the books July 30th. on the second quarter, and most oil companies are showing record profits for the second quarter, which was the quarter where gas prices went crazy. And Trump even actually did a press conference into looking into these oil companies and price gouging. And so, Lummy, this is, I'm going to do that next, but this is 3 states launch investigations into Fauci after explosive Senate hearing. Alabama, Louisiana. Dan, off the top of my mind, weren't these the 3 states that I just mentioned?
Yep.
Florida, Louisiana, Alabama. Throw Georgia in there for some good measure.
And they've now announced investigations into Dr.
You know DeSantis is not going to let this low-hanging fruit go, right?
Oh, no. God, no.
No.
Fauci. Former President Joe Biden granted Fauci that pardon before he left the White House, but it didn't protect him from this. Here's Governor Ron DeSantis.
So Ronnie D, Dan, Ronnie D's right there, right? He's not one to miss nothing.
This is a guy that was drinking his own Kool-Aid. He was venerated by the media. I think he liked the fact that he had a lot of this informal power when he was issuing these recommendations and telling governors and mayors to do some of the draconian things that were actually done. It had a really negative effect on a lot of societies throughout this country. You had businesses reeling, people's liberties curtailed, and kids left on the sideline unable to access education.
Boom.
And they've
boom. That's coming, my friend. That and Dan, will Fauci have to haul his ass down here to each state? I mean, right? You have to go to the jurisdiction that you're being sued in, right?
Yes, a lot of it would probably be, pulled into federal court, but it would still be under state law.
Federal court in Florida.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we only have, I think, 3. We have the upper district, the middle district, and the lower district.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be probably, I don't know where it would be filed.
Probably the upper district, because that's where Tallahassee is.
It's coming from Tallahassee, right, which is even more conservative.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck to you, Fauci.
I began to hallucinate and thought a houseplant was talking to me.
Prescription medication.
Oh, man.
Prescription medication.
Rare delicacy.
It takes a lot of great prescription medication to make the show sound this mediocre. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
Howard, it's bullshit.
What's up, Cracker Chris? Hit that thumb, shoot out your dad. Keep on Cash App Venmo. You tried the Florida one, right? You like the Florida one, right?
Yeah, I've tried it before. It's pretty good.
What's up, Cracker Chris? Oh. Oh, Jay, is Dan coming in today? I mean, jeez. Is Dan, is Jay coming in today?
I think so. I don't know if he's coming here or if he's doing it from the studio. What's up, Cracker Chris?
Is Jay zooming?
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Is Jay zooming? I just asked Dan. He said he didn't know.
Are you coming in, or are you doing it at the Enclave? Welcome to Johnny K. Steele, the one.
Those two becoming
Rodgers.
here. Those two are single.
She's dating a decent-looking, thin, tall, black guy that I believe is a coach, college coach maybe, assistant coach in a college team.
What's up, Lucas Rodgers?
He's doing it from the Enclave, Macho.
All right, thank you.
Remote.
Old dog right there. Gotta dig a hole now, girlfriend. Jay's doing it from the Enclave.
Man, Jay's Enclave, Dan. He showed me pictures.
Nice.
Fucking place is badass. I told him, I said, we need to do some boys gatherings over there like we used to. Like, even if it's just a Friday night and we all just got drunk. And,
I mean, there's TV, bathrooms, everything.
Right, I mean, even we just got there Friday night, had some pizza and fucking some drinks and some other stuff.
Don't put your feet on his couch. I mean, on the table.
No, I'm not gonna. I know the rules.
He's got so many.
Just give us a list of rules before we walk in.
He's got so many. He needs to print them.
Well, hand everybody a list of rules so we don't, so he can enjoy himself and not be uptight.
The work today, chaos.
Let me, how's the temperature?
Amazing.
Dan?
It's fine.
It was good to see Cato yesterday.
Well, Dr. Dan didn't see him.
No, but you saw him.
Oh, yeah. I was thought Jay was here in the train. He wanted to.
Strange Clouds Vapor and Smoke Shop, your one-stop destination for all the good stuff. They've got Nick Vapes, delicious edibles and THC products. Also a wide selection of kratom and kava, killer glass pipe selection, and fresh incense to set the mood, all at the best prices. Full kratom and kava bars and relaxing lounges located at each one of their locations. Bay Pines, Largo, Clearwater, Palm Harbor. Mention Bubba Army and get 15% off your entire purchase. Strange Clouds Vapor and Smoke Shop. Come get lifted on good vibes. 4 locations serving the Tampa Bay area or online at shopstrangeclouds.com.
Broadcasting live
Filthy bastard!
from the den of sin. Just leave your morals at the door.
Yeah!
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
As I get ready for my next segment, President Trump signs executive orders in the Oval Office and then takes questions from reporters and unloads on big oil. Oil, the futures down $3 at $77 right now. One would expect that we would see that at the pump. But these oil companies are the biggest shady bastards ever. And the fact that when something happens immediately, like a tornado or whatever, like a hurricane or any type of natural disaster, then they immediately jack up the prices, even though that oil they have in the refinery is, 90 to 120 days from actually getting into your, to the gas station that you go to, into their holding tanks to disperse to you. It's anywhere between 90 and 120 days. So realistically, a natural disaster that happens this weekend shouldn't really have anything to do with the supply until like November. But they use that immediately to jack up the prices. And then when the futures go down, like they are now in the high 70s, which is the lowest since like April, we don't see immediate relief from the pump. They'll be like, well, you're still 3 months from being able to show what the futures are being traded at compared to when it's in the tank of your gas station to pump out. Takes about 3 months. Yeah, it's 77 a barrel now, which is the lowest it's been since April. But it's going to take till like November to be able to see that savings. No, bitch, you jack me up. The minute something happens, you jack me, but you won't unjack me when the futures go down. It's so one-sided and so not fair, period. Here's Trump yesterday going off. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't just about maybe 2 weeks ago, we played him in the Oval Office saying that we're going to launch a full-blown investigation into the price gouging of Americans via the oil industry?
It was like a month ago, but yeah.
Well, I mean, if their second quarter earnings don't show you that indeed you were correct, President Trump, and they are gouging the American public, I don't know what other data you need other than their second quarter earnings. I mean, Dan, that's the complete landscape of the healthiness and profitability of a company. Is there P&L profit? Is there official, earnings report of the second quarter? That figures in their debt. That figures in their profit. That figures in everything. And so if you just can't take a look at their spreadsheet and realize that most of them are reporting first or the second highest earning quarter that they've ever reported, if that doesn't just do your report for you, then I don't know what was.
Go ahead, who are you with?
John Fergus Media.
Yeah, that's right.
Original name.
What was your name before?
John Fergus.
Go ahead, John.
Where, Mark?
Am I assuming this might be a transitioning?
No, it's the guy changed the name of the paper or whatever, or whoever he works for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was. Yeah.
Is it some no-name paper that?
Yeah, and Trump just tried to be funny. It's
all right.
Yeah.
But he's not dogging a guy.
No, not at all.
No.
Two domestic questions, sir. The first one is Exxon and Chevron, Integrated Oil U.S., just announced record profits second quarter. Unbelievable. For Exxon, for instance, $14 billion highest they've had in over a decade. For Chevron for the quarter, highest in history.
By 12 times.
I did not know. The highest, so Chevron's second quarter earnings report were 12 times higher than the next best earning report?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what he's implying.
Oh. Why isn't Donald doing something immediately?
You saw that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
By 12 times.
On the backs.
I don't like it.
Workers paying higher gas.
Yeah.
They're
making too much money. Okay. Based on a shortage, they're making too much money. I don't like it. And I should be the last one to say, because I'm a big free enterprise guy, nobody bigger. And, you're going to see oil when we're finished with Iran, you're going to see the prices drop through the floor. But they made too much money. Too much money. Chevron, too much money.
Okay, what are you going to do about it?
ExxonMobil, too much money. When you look at one company where they made 12 times what they made the year before, they're going to give some of that back to the public.
Now, what power do we have? This might be a question for Dan. What power do we have as a country? I mean, we are all about being a capitalistic society, and you can, make as much as you potentially can. But I do think we have some gouging laws, some trust and gouging stuff. Do we have a recourse as a country to come in and do something to these people?
There's three things. There's, like you said, there's gouging laws. There's, when a company artificially raises the price in a crisis, there's criminal. It could be up to criminal corporate justice there. There's also regulation, and he can, he is the executive branch, and so he can come down and start, threatening more severe regulation. With executive orders, he can do a lot to make life miserable for the oil companies.
As he should.
And then the third thing that can be done is there can be some legislation passed that maybe limits, like they do to health insurance companies, how much profit they can make off of the people. And so, I don't like too much government interference in business, but when business has a monopoly and, the oil industry is a monopoly.
And they're gouging.
And they're colluding with each other. See, that's the other thing is they can't talk amongst each other and lock prices. That's what we try to prevent with antitrust legislation. And so if Exxon and Sunoco and all these big companies get together, BP, and say, listen, we're going to jack up prices together, and we're going to do this as a team, and that's illegal. And they can be fined. There could be criminal stuff.
Well,
what he's going to do is he's going to investigate. He's going to put a magnifying glass up their ass and look closely. And they don't want that. And they just got it.
Can they start the process of a congressional oversight committee and
they'll all be hauled in to Congress. They're all going to get hauled in. They're all going to get embarrassed. Some may lose their jobs as CEO because a lot of times all you need to do is say one wrong thing in a congressional hearing, and you lose your job.
And I mean, the board members or whoever determines who the CEO could say, "Hey, listen, it's partly your job to keep us within regulatory, so we're not getting our asses hauled up to Capitol Hill, which would require us not to, gouge the American public 12 times the earnings. You keep that." You keep that magical number, off of the government's radar, so to speak. That's part of you being the CEO. Do we make 12 times the earnings, or do we scale it back a little bit so I don't get my ass hauled into Congress embarrassed, which could potentially lead to consumer confidence, consumer boycott. You know what I'm saying? So that part of the CEO is to regulate, probably your earnings so that you're not getting the attention of the President of the United States, right? I mean, they only mentioned 2 oil companies that had record windfalls. Are the other ones, did they play ball a little bit better? Were they a little bit more smart?
Doing good. They're doing good.
They're all in on it.
Couldn't also the government come in and at least take off some of the taxes, either the state or the national tax?
But
that's not why they're getting gouged.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that both.
But let me, that's hurting the American government. That's taking the tax portion of gas away. The oil companies, that's not their profit margin. Their profit margin is what they call the rack rate of fuel, and so taxes are added to that to help our tax base, and we get a lot of tax dollars from fuel. But if fuel is fundamentally, let's say, 75 cents cheaper, the rack rate, that's the profit margin of the oil company. Why should any state or federal office or tax code have to sacrifice their profitability in lieu of making gas more affordable? We shouldn't have to be the ones that fluctuate. They are. I mean, listen, there's a happy medium. Could you have made 6 times? Could you have made 6 times the profit and gas be down 50 cents right now? Probably.
Well, then also, if you don't want to do the taxes, what about the regulations that they put in?
That's where they're going to stick them. And so Trump's going to be like, hey, I've been pro-gas for a long time, but if you guys are going to be taking advantage of everybody and literally have a stronghold because it's truly a monopoly. There's not a lot of independent gas,
there's none.
Drilling going on these days. You don't have oil wells in your backyard anymore.
No.
That doesn't happen anymore.
And they better cut the retail price, the consumer price. Too much money. You're surprised I'm saying it? I'll say it loud and clear. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, well, you need to look into it. Brooke, a naked man. Now, I looked at how high this highest tower is, and it's just to give you some reference, the Sunshine Skyway, where I think there's only like a 15 or 20% survival rate, is 87 feet less than what this guy jumped. The top of one of these big towers is 287 feet.
And the Skyway's 200?
And the Skyway's 197 actually. But I think, Dan, there's like the railing gives you like a 2 or 3 extra deal. You know, like so I think the Sunshine Skyway scores in right at 200. And this is 287. And Dan, you would probably be able. It says 80 meters, but I actually
It's like 250 feet.
Yeah, so there's different.
But still, 250 to plus feet. That's a lot.
This guy, I cannot even attempt to pronounce his name. Dan, you might be able to. It's right here. I could no way, shape, or form be able to sound that out other than he's 44 years old and he's been charged with several counts, including public lewdness after he climbed the New York City landmark, the Brooklyn Bridge, jumped into the water naked, and he's currently in stable condition. Dan, can you attempt to pronounce that guy's name?
Albal Dayev.
Wait, what?
What? Right here, Dan.
I did. His last name.
Oh, yeah. What about the first name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Galimzan Abdal Dayev.
There's an M in there.
I said that. Galimzan Abdal. I said it wrong. The first name is this. Galimzan.
Galimzan.
Abdal Dayev.
Galimzan Abdal Dayev.
Abdal Dayev.
He is now currently
guilty.
The New York Police Department responded to a 911 call at 2:30 in the afternoon, 2:28 on Sunday, where officers observed a 44-year-old male climbing the North Tower of the bridge. The individual then jumped into the East River, and officers from the harbor unit extracted him from the water without further incident. Spokesperson said the emergency services responded, and he's currently taken to the hospital in stable condition. A few hours later, he was arrested and charged with reckless endangerment, making graffiti, public lewdness, criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct. The Brooklyn Bridge, which was built in 1883, has a clearance of 41 meters from the water. At its center, the towers themselves are just under 83 meters tall. And to the company, blah, blah, blah. There is footage of this, but they cut it off before he hits the water. Now, my question is, if the Sunshine Skyway, I think it has a 20% survival rating, like 80% of people that attempt to jump off the Sunshine Skyway die. Now, I think that might have been somewhat changed because they put these catch nets in there now. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
There's these catch nets that are on the side of the bridge at its highest span, and it's tough for a human being to be able to. They're out like that. Catch net's out like 8 feet. I think they've strategically made it so like the average person can't can't get into that. But here's what I'm saying. Okay, let's say you jump into the catch. Why couldn't you just roll over and I don't think it keeps you.
Because now you're only 100 feet above the water or 80 feet above the water, and it's not lethal anymore.
No, I think the catch feet is literally 4 or 5 feet lower than the base of the bridge.
Oh, okay. So you're still jumping 200
it's not
feet.
halfway. Yeah, it's not
180.
Let me. Can you maybe show me a picture that I can show Dan of the Sunshine Skyway catch fence system? So Dan, like the catch feet, they may save you 3 foot, but it's to me like, let's say you jumped and you landed in the catch fence. All you'd have to do is just roll over, and it would plop you into the water. I don't know how that's going to save you necessarily, other than maybe 3 feet.
It also buys people time to come respond.
I guess. Well, it probably maybe as you're sitting there in the catch fence thinking, do I really? Maybe there's a certain percentage of people
regret
that all right, catch fence got me. I got another shot at this, but maybe I don't wanna. Here we go, Lummy. Here are various. So they have these big. Now I thought they had fencing. I guess they don't have fencing out here, do they?
I thought they did too, but no, it looks like they don't. It looks like that's the only thing they did.
Yeah, they put up like these extra fences.
Yeah, but people can climb that.
I think it's hard to climb, but you're right, Dan. People can climb that. I'm looking at, so that's what the new catch fence is. It's just additional, like 10 foot.
So you give him an extra 10 feet to jump off.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I think this is real netty. Like, I don't think it's real stable.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that you can necessarily really climb that very well. Like, it's not chain link fence where you can grab, get a real good hold on something.
I think if you click on that link, back to you.
Oh, I think I might have messed it. Was this it right here?
It was a WTSP, or that one too. That one might show you right there. If you click on the WFLA News Channel 8, if you go down a little bit, yeah, it should have a video for it explaining what.
Here?
Yes. Material it is.
Okay. Suicide prevention barriers to be installed to the Sunshine Skyway. Is this a news story right here?
Yeah.
Supposedly? Come on.
11, Florida transportation officials are moving ahead with a plan to put suicide barriers along the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. FDOT released an...
And you know what? Here's the deal. I can't even tell you the last time that we had a jumper. I mean, usually we had... 2, 3, 4 a year, and they would shut the side. They'd shut the lane down.
How old's the story?
This is quite old.
Today that shows what they will look like.
2020
project will cost $3 million.
Look, Dan, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Updated on January 10th, 2020.
And they said 18 people jumped in 18.
Yeah.
So I wonder how many people jumped in 2025.
Can you give me the latest number? Because I think that this is really helping.
Maybe.
Let's see.
I mean, they were averaging, I was told at one time that it was between 15 and 20 a year is what the average is. Here's this nut job jumping from 287 feet, and he made it. Now, he had a backpack and some flag from like Kazakhstan or something like that, like one of these countries. And he made it. He made it 287 feet naked. God, I got to think, Dan, that would really be hard on your balls and testicles.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he had his legs crossed as he landed.
Now, Dan, is there a way that because like these cliff divers and stuff, they'll get up that high sometimes, 150 feet, what have you. Is it that you're supposed to like create like a knife, like with your feet, like you're supposed to point them down, or like what? How do these people survive?
Feet first, toes pointed, locked body, cut into that water. Hopefully there's some disruption on the surface of the water and it's not completely flat.
So flat water's worse?
Oh, flat water like concrete.
So, but like if
that's why when you see like people even diving competitions, there's like bubbles at the bottom just so that they like break up the water a little bit.
So the best would be like a little 1 or 2 foot chop.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That would be good. But if it's like flat as glass,
you're done.
Then that worsens your chances.
Yes, sir.
It looks like there's been 2 this year.
2?
6
last
year.
We're halfway this year, only at 2, and 6 last year.
So it's working, Bubba.
It is working.
6 the year before. Looks like 10 the year before that. So yeah, it's going down.
Yeah, it's working. When we return, this police officer, I think the guy won $1 million. They had this guy in custody, and then the cop just starts giving him like UFC hooks to the face while the guy's in custody. Now the guy's fighting around, like he's being a little bit like, he's resisting a little bit, but the guy's handcuffed. So when you got a guy that's handcuffed and he's resisting, he's like a rag doll. You can put him wherever you want, including the ground. You don't have to punch the guy in the face. And then he starts putting his electrode taser to the guy's ribs and starts, tasering the guy. If you're a cop and you can't handle a person that's handcuffed, I don't know that you're necessarily that good of a cop, right? I mean, you should be able to handle a person that's resisting you if he's handcuffed, including like taking a guy down to the ground. You don't have to beat him in the face.
I think this guy was trying to impress his partner.
His female partner?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. And then reports, which I'm not trying to get too top 40 zookeeper-ish, but supposedly Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are headed for divorce, and I couldn't, if I'm Prince Harry, I couldn't say good riddance, bitch, enough. Look at everything that Prince Harry has given up, including every aspect of being part of the royal family for this bitch.
I know.
I mean, he has completely lost his manhood. He's lost his balls. He's let her run the show. And do you know how cool it is if you're in London or Great Britain and you are part of the royal family? You got life made. They give you a big-ass castle. They give you 24-hour security. They give you a couple $100,000 a year to show up 2 or 3 times to a Make-A-Wish deal. You know, you're officially a prince. That's a big deal. And, you know, every 4 to 8 years, the people of Great Britain, they actually vote on whether they want to abolish, you know, the monarchy. And every year they approve it. All these hundreds of millions of dollars it takes to run Buckingham Palace and to have the king and prince and queen, you know, that whole structure. And they every year vote that they want to keep it. So if you're the prince, man, Dan, you got life made. You got life absolutely made.
I know. And
until
she just
some American
bitch
comes in and, you know, wants to disrupt it, move you back to LA. This bitch is a home wrecker. This bitch, she has Prince Harry so pee-whipped. Good riddance, bitch.
Well, good thing he signed a prenup.
Oh, you mean she signed a prenup?
Oh, she didn't though. He said that he didn't have her sign it because they were gonna last forever.
All right, so he signed one with regards to her future earnings, but she didn't sign one with regards to him being the prince.
Oh, no. So it looks like that was going to happen, but it looks like he turned down everything, and there's no prenup in this whole marriage.
Oh, my God.
Because he said it was going to last.
And after,
yeah, but he had to give up his throne rights.
Yeah, you're right.
And so she's got no aspect to that. Maybe that's one of the reasons they kicked him out of the royal family is because the exposure with the lack of the prenup.
Whatever. Good riddance to this bitch. I was a huge fan of hers with Suits.
Really?
I thought she nailed it with Suits.
I never liked her.
But once she got married to Prince Harry, I could see how much of a C-word she was. Just a straight P-whip C-word. That and the cop brutality gimmick next. Hold on.
Believe it or not.
Absolutely not.
Everything you heard about him has been toned down for easier public acceptance. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
Not that pretty either. She's probably
pretty hot
in makeup and stuff like that. But I mean,
it looks like it. Well, obviously, currently their net worth is between 60 to 100, but before it, she was worth about 5. But you know, if his net worth is, let's say, 100, she'll probably get.
What state?
I think L.A.
He's fucked.
Yeah, California.
Oh yeah, he's really fucked. With 2 kids?
Mm-hmm. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Been a slow day today, Lummy.
Yeah, it has.
Very slow. Maybe the show sucks. You know, I mean, maybe we gotta sometimes think about that. Maybe the show fucking's horrible. We're not on our A game today.
Uncle Eric, $50.
Thank you, Uncle Eric. Don't forget, man. Everybody, you gotta get your qualifications in for.
Christopher Lehman, $20.
Thank you, Lehman. Appreciate you, bud.
Said the real his this. What? Dirt? Yeah. Huh. Is that trash guy? Yeah, but Steve's a real man. I mean, still, that's a lot of money.
There's a cute little brown dog out here.
That's Bob Cooks. That's Sadie.
Big water.
Big under. That's it. 57. Jimmy rim job. 157. Good morning, Heather Wiz.
I haven't heard from Heather Wiz in a while. Is she okay?
She's on YouTube.
Hey, Wizzy. I sent something to you and Gary from the
email or text?
Email.
Okay.
From the people that are distributing Video Killed the Radio Star.
Oh, I got that. I saw that yesterday.
They want us to put it. They want us to put it on our social. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Can we get that done? That way I can tell Tate.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Scott Sarboard. Starting Dion's Tub. Good morning.
No script, no filter, no chance this ends well.
Bubba the Love Sponge Show, back live. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Got a email from Mark Tate, Ian Longin, and the people that are distributing Video Killed the Radio Star on Tubi. And I just glanced over. Are they going to some type of film festival, or they just want us to? They asked for us to put their link up on our Instagram, but I don't know if they looked at our other numbers. They're like, have Bubba put it on their Instagram because he's got 71,000 followers or something. Man, Instagram's great, and we're so appreciative of the 70-some thousand followers, but we got like 276,000 on Facebook.
That's right.
113,000 on X. I don't know if these guys know that, but let's certainly.
Well, we'll be putting it on the other ones too.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
We're supposed to be getting some numbers back, as you can see in that email, like soon. I think it's doing pretty well on Tubi. I really do. I'll go to a private browser, because a lot of times it'll figure out your cookies and it will bring up, it will recommend Video Killed the Radio Stars based on one that I've watched it before, and two, so the algorithm knows I watch it, and and so it'll recommend it based on having watched it before. But if you go to like a private Safari, you launch your internet on a private tab, which means it does not consider any of your history or anything like that, it still comes up as a recommendation, Video Killed the Radio Star on Tubi. And now, Lummy, if you type in V when you in the browsing deal, I think VI, maybe V or just VI, it comes up Remember back in the day when we first started, you had to type actually the word video in, and it would be like the third one. Now I think that so many people have searched it that I think it's either V or VI, and it comes up as a recommendation.
It's not being repressed by the algorithms.
No, it's being
promoted.
It's being promoted.
That's nice.
By the
Change.
algorithm. Meaning, yeah, it's a nice change. Season. There's only one season. There's 3 episodes. The first episode's 57 minutes. The rise of radio royalty. Todd Klim rises from local radio host to shock jock Bubba the Love Sponge, forging a close relationship with wrestling icon Hulk Hogan. Episode 2, the video that changed everything, 1 hour. By the way, the first episode's 57 minutes. The second one's 1 hour. The publication of the leaked sex tape to settle a radio war ignites national scandal, resulting in huge highs and lows for Hulk. And then there's more description, but I'm not going to click on it. And then the third, the fallout, 44 minutes. The Hogan v. Gawker verdict ended the lawsuit, but not the scandal. The fallout includes a second bite at the apple for Hulk Hogan. So it comes in 3 different episodes, 57 minutes, 1 hour, and 44 minutes. I love it that it plays way better. I thought broke up into three categories. I think it really, really plays way better than the one.
It's a big story. It's a lot. It's so much information.
Right. And so Apple and Prime made us, put it all into one, which I thought was a little long at 2:30, whereas 57 minutes, an hour, and 44 minutes is awesome. Go to Tubi, type in VID. It'll aggregate up. Watch it. Appreciate it. Watch it a lot. Watch it as much as you can. Tell your friends, too. Dateline, Eugene, Oregon, on July 30th, 2026. I cannot even pronounce this guy's name either. Geo Snaphat? Is Dan, you're the smartest guy in the room.
Josephat. Come in dust.
Leave it to my illiterate ass to call him Geo Snaphat.
I thought you were close.
Snapchat. Joe Snapchat.
Geo Snapchat. Combinates filed a $1 million lawsuit against the city of Eugene, and Eugene police officer allegedly punched him and tasered him while handcuffed in the July 11th, 2025 incident. Geo Snapchat was being detained on suspicion of second-degree criminal. Second-degree criminal trespassing.
What is that?
Yeah,
what is that?
Yeah, do you really need to rough a guy up? Now, if a guy's, murdered somebody, beat up his old lady, was a DUI and killed a family of 4.
You found him in the back of your porch underneath the kitchen table, underneath the dining room table.
Masturbating to your 14-year-old.
Right,
There's some things that I want a cop to come in a little heavy-handed on. That a guy's a scumbag and, punching him 3 times in the face really ain't a big deal to me. But criminal trespass, what's that? Is he probably showed up at his old lady's house when he wasn't supposed to? She's got like a restraining order against him, and he showed up there to do a boo-hoo willy. That's probably what it is. After being handcuffed and walked to the patrol car, he stated that he had turned to say goodbye to his family. So it sounds like, he was sad. I'm going to turn and say goodbye to my family as you guys are hauling me away in handcuffs. Officer Stephen Lamb then punched him in the face 7 times and stunned him with the taser twice for 17 seconds while he remained restrained. Geo Hapstant suffered a traumatic brain injury, ruptured. So, Dan, what is a traumatic brain injury? What does that entail?
Anytime, it's a concussion.
Okay. Ruptured blood
or worse, contusion.
Ruptured blood cells in his eye, several face bruisings, and electrocution marks. Lamb, the cop, resigned in November of 2025. This is the 3rd recent excessive force lawsuit from this department. Yeah, when you have the 3rd excessive force lawsuit from within a department, that's management. That's the chief or the sheriff or whoever's in charge of this agency that is not trained or instilled any type of repercussions if you treat people poorly. This should be on the police chief. You can keep firing guys and they resign and writing $1 million settlement checks, but there comes a point where the person that's leading the agency has to, be taken to task. Here it is. And by the way, the first part of the sound for some reason is not there, and then all of a sudden it picks up. So this guy here, he kind of looks like maybe he's fighting a little bit, but the guy's handcuffed. If anything, Dan, trip him down to the ground, right? Like,
right.
A guy that's handcuffed, you should be able to control. And I can see the guy as being, a little bit, not cooperative.
Ornery.
Yeah, he's being ornery and he's not cooperative. I get it. It does not warrant this. Watch this one. It does not warrant this. And watch it. He brings this one from left field. Bam, 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 bam. I mean, you look at this. In the face. Then takes out his gun. I mean, takes out his laser gun. I mean, that's just not right. Right?
It seems a little sadistic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's playing stuck in the middle with you. Cut his ear off. Really make this an event.
Hits him again. Now, at this part, it looks like he's not being resistful.
Yeah, the cop looks like he's being sadistic.
Right, and so it looks like the girl's got him in control, and she's now taking him to maybe the back of the squad car to throw him back in there.
And the guy with the dick boom just wants to keep hurting him.
Yeah. Johnny Mustache wants to keep, and this guy looks like a cop, standard mustache, right? Listen, I've had one of those tasers, and Lummy, you have too. Had one put against your skin, and it's like you literally are putting your tongue on a light bulb.
Yeah, it's no fun.
I mean,
they're to respond. Connect channel 1 for 3036 River Red.
I will tell you, the female police officer is pretty easy on the eyes. She's pretty hot. You know what, Lummy? You were right. He was showing off to the hot female cop.
That's right.
And at this point, man, if you're a little bit ornery, like Dan said, and now you've had to go through this, I'm going to be even more of a dick. I mean, like, tell me when Jay's ready. I'm assuming he's going to Zoom.
He's having trouble with his internet.
Oh, okay.
He's always on his way here now because the internet's down there.
Oh, the internet's down at the Enclave?
Yes.
Poor Jay. Poor guy. He could just say, listen, I'm going back to the plate. Do you really need to it looks like to me the guy's not trying to raise his head. Right, Danny does not look like to be resisting at all. He's leaning,
pretty much taking him down.
He's leaning at the waist over the hood of the car. I don't know why you have to keep smashing his face again. See the guys, looks like they're potentially frisking him at this point. Poor guy. I mean, I don't want to say poor guy because he could have just, I don't know what he's really wanted for besides criminal trespassing. But I mean, this right here. So I can see where, at this point, I think, Dan, you ankle trip him. You take him down to this nice fluffy grass. You put him face down in the grass. You put your knee on his back, and you say, listen, buddy, we can do this a couple different ways. I'm gonna get you back up, and you're going to walk like a gentleman to the car, or we're going to stay down here on the ground all day. Which one you want? And when you're handcuffed and you're face down into the grass with a cop's knee in your back, which is probably protocol, not knee to the back of the neck, but to the back, that's probably not real comfortable, and you're probably going to start complying. Okay, I'm sorry. Just help me up. Sorry I gave you a hard time. Do you act like you're Conor McGregor and make the guy eat 7 fists? 7? I mean, and at this point, Dan, would you not? This guy's defenseless, right?
Defenseless. You can't do anything with your hands handcuffed.
Right. I mean, other than maybe taking the guy down. I don't even know what handcuff protocol, what resistance would be. If a guy's handcuffed and he's resisting, I would say that, SOP, standard operating procedure, would be maybe to take the guy down to the ground.
Yep.
I would say.
And yank up on those handcuffs.
So this guy's background is he went to USF and then was a Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputy before transferring to Eugene, Oregon.
Chronister knew he was a bad apple and got the hell rid of him. Yeah, or whoever was in charge, they knew this guy was an asshole. So he had to go. I can't think of, that's about as far away from Tampa as you can get, Eugene, Oregon. Right? That's
and
about
he's trying to impress Officer Shakira?
Yeah, Officer hot brunette. So, watch this. Bam, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then a choke. Now the taser. Guy got $1 million, and the officer.
No. Did he get it, or he just sued for it?
I don't know if he got it yet. You're right.
He's filing suit.
He's filing for it,
and he should. I think it's excessive.
I think he should. Give it to him. Write a check and make sure the other asshole, never is in law enforcement ever again.
He's not. He sells insurance now.
Good. You can't even be a whack and hut mall cop, you bitch. You little bitch.
Breakup rumors after 8 years of marriage. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex left the royal family in 20...
Listen, William, you can't get out fast enough, bro.
You can't even call them that, though. They've lost those titles. You can't call them the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Yeah, but I did see an article where his dad threw some type of hidden message, something to do with the fact that if you get rid of the bitch, we'll welcome you back into the royal family.
Oh, wow, the prodigal son.
Well, as much as they throw you out, Dan, if they have the power to let you back in, too.
Yeah, it's like
right?
Royal Seth.
Let's say that you had a family member that was an F-up. Let's say I was a Diaco brother, and you guys done throwed me out, right? But I put together 3 or 4 or 5 really good years of not being in trouble. Well, Steve could call a meeting and say, we want to bring Bubba back as our family member.
But what happens when you do that? You get screwed over a second time.
Well, second time, it's on you, my friend. Yeah.
20, moving to California. This shift is reportedly contributing to their speculated troubles.
Man, Dan, he needs to go to that hair. He needs to go sign up for Diaco hair.
Oh yeah, he's got bad hair.
Oh, yeah,
bad hair. It didn't matter when he was with hot Meghan Merkel, but now that he's going to be single, and he's going to be cue ball.
Look at that.
He needs to call Cena.
And that's a prime candidate for what you do, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That bozo Willie.
Tension between Meghan and Harry has become, according to insiders.
Ass can't be that good. You can have the hottest ass in the world. Just remember this expression, and everybody's heard it. No matter how hot the chick is, somebody somewhere sick of having sex with it. Think about it. No matter how hot a chick is, somebody somewhere is tired of it.
Hard to ignore. Harry wants to spend more time in the UK, which Meghan is
which he's got carte blanche on, right?
Resistant to.
I got to think LA's pretty tough when you're not royal family anymore and you're just Markle, Meghan and Harry.
Celebrity matchmaker Deborah Graham claims their relationship is strong as an ox. She believes their bond is solid and capable of making significant changes. Graham also mentioned that Princess Diana played a spiritual role in their union. The couple.
What?
That's nonsensical.
Yeah, stop. I'm out of here on this stupid report when they're saying that
she spiritually helped them.
That Princess Diana from the grave match make these bitches. The hell out of here, please.
She's honking Epstein's Bobo on some secret island.
Oh man, I watched the Harvey Weinstein documentary yesterday. Oh my God! By the way, he'll die in prison. Now, he did get his New York conviction overturned, but they retried it, and he got the same amount of time. I think he's got like 20 years in California and 15 in New York. But, man, this guy was a scumbag, and his second wife was an absolute smoke show. Like Harvey Weinstein's second wife that he ended up having 2 kids with, people would say, what in the hell is that hot bitch doing with... because he was disgusting.
Yeah.
He was disgusting.
And probably not really funny either.
Georgiana Chapman.
Oh, my God. Can you send me a picture of her? Yeah, Dan, wait till you see her.
Nice Jewish girl.
I don't know what her ethnicity was other than H-O-T. Hot as hell. Now, his first wife, he had 3 kids with... Did you send it to me? He had 3 kids with his first wife. And then he married this this Chapman chick. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. He married this Chapman chick, and everybody was like,
oh, wow, she's pretty.
that's not.
This is Georgina
I think
Chapman.
this is her.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. This is.
Well, she dyed her hair blonde, I guess.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
They had her. They had her. Here we go. This is Harvey Weinstein's second wife. Like, hot as hell.
That's not her.
No, it's not.
No, now, I think you got off a Pat.
Aggregated Willie.
Now you're on Real Housewives of...
Okay. I'm an idiot. I'm just saying, man, it's a good doc. This guy's shady. He'd have the girls meet him at the Peninsula, or some, I guess, the bar part of one of these L.A. big. He had the penthouse permanently rented, like he had it, like as an apartment, and that's where he'd take these chicks and ask them for a nude massage, and then for them to honk Bobo, and then if they didn't like any of that, he'd rape them, and then give them a role. I think Gwyneth Paltrow. I think Ashley Judd. And did you hear about when Brad Pitt stuck up to him? I think it might have been Gwyneth Paltrow when Brad Pitt dated Gwyneth Paltrow, and this is at the height of Miramax, which was owned by Weinstein. And you really couldn't get heat as an actor unless you're Brad Pitt and you don't really answer to anybody, and everybody wants you to be in their movie. He went up to Harvey Weinstein when he had found out what he had done to Gwyneth Paltrow, which I think he was dating at the time, and he told him, I will kick your ass. And I guess Weinstein tried to tell him something like, well, you'll never work again in Hollywood. And Brad Pitt goes, watch me, bitch. I'll be working longer than you will.
Looks like that came true.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, this is when we return, this is exactly what needs to be done. When these kids are taking guns to school. Now, in this particular incident, I think this kid actually killed some kids. I think the kid from Georgia actually did kill some kids. Yeah, he
did. I think he's serving a life sentence.
And the Georgia judge and the prosecution hauled his dad into prison, into the judicial system, and I think he got 15 years.
Oh, good.
That's going to stop. That's going to make parents start paying a little bit more attention. I think the dad. Well, we're going to get to the story next, but I think the dad actually provided the gun to him. Like the kid went up and said, "Hey, Dad, can I have your gun?"
It was a gift.
Oh, so
he gifted him.
So the dad gifted a kid the gun?
Yes, for Christmas, and I believe they were already telling him not to give the kid a gun.
I did gift Tyler a .22.
But I think the kid was already completely whacked out of his mind.
But I gifted my son like at age 7 or 8 a .22 that I kept. I kept locked up in my gun safe.
That's safe. That's responsible.
And then he would only be able to take it when we would go down to shoot straight lummy.
Yeah.
And he went through the kids' lesson course and got a certificate and stuff. And then we would shoot it at the gun range, and then I would take it back and put it in my gun safe. But it was his gun, but he couldn't have access to it unless we were going to the shooting range. So I think that's kind of the responsible way to potentially gift your kid a gun.
Not buy him an AR and letting him.
No, not buy him an AR and letting him keep it underneath his bed. No, I don't think that's the right way. We'll do that and more when we return next. Hold on.
Automatic microphone shut off. Engage.
Why? What'd they do now?
Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
I thought the fat one didn't really talk that much.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, wow.
That'll fucking learn you.
All right. Dr. Dan. Oh, look at casual Dan today.
I got surgery.
Oh, so you're just going
straight
right
to
from here to
surgery.
scrubs.
Yeah, right.
You could actually wear
T-shirts. Yeah. Shorts.
This is what I'm going to start doing here. Terry usually has all that stuff, doesn't he?
Yes.
Like even for your Ferraris and stuff.
That's why I got enough of this.
You around this weekend or?
Yes, I am around this weekend. The next 2 weekends I'm
Oh yeah, the Mac Daddy machine. Yeah, the Mac Daddy.
Who, Jay?
No. And he said his router's not even connected to the. He's not getting a signal to his computer at all. Maybe got struck by lightning or something. Or your service is down.
Yeah, but you still gotta drive fast.
Yeah.
Can't just have a fast car. I have one of those. I can't remember what brand it is. It's like a fingerprint.
Crystal Harley-Davidson in Homosassa has the hottest deals this summer. Tell a Bubba Army and get a free helmet with any new motorcycle purchase. Wear any Bubba Army gear when you're at the store and score an extra surprise HD swag bag Monday through Friday. Take a test ride and grab a free summer swag bag loaded with mystery items, hats, t-shirts, koozies, challenge coins, and more. Or jump into the payment swap event. Trade your car, truck, boat, RV, or anything with a payment and ride home on a Harley. Stop by Crystal Harley-Davidson today. Your next adventure is waiting. You can always check him out online at crystalharley.com.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, all at the Bubba Army, now returns.
Man, poor Jay. We need to just tell Jay, that if he has problems on the enclave, not to worry about coming in here. It just makes it that much more of a pain in the ass for him. Poor guy.
You should have just got in the car in the beginning and drove here.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, my friend. I was just going to say.
Yeah, Mr.
He had an initial plan. It didn't work. He doesn't have to drive all the way in here, but I think he is. God love you, Jay. Appreciate you.
The Enclave is 20 minutes from my house, and this place is 38. It's
So
worth
really?
the extra 15.
So hold on. The Enclave is how long?
Solid 20, 25 minutes by the time you pull into it. And this place is, 38 minutes from my house.
So not a big deal.
It's not that much
what you've
better.
already.
It sucks at 4 a.m., but it's not that much different.
We start doing this, maybe we'll see a deterrent in school shootings or kids shooting up In-N-Out burgers and teen gatherings and just kids using guns in a fatal way. Maybe we'll start seeing a little less of this if we start holding parents responsible. And I applaud this district attorney and this judge because this probably is a very polarized. No, I don't think it's even polarizing. I think that most people would commend this, saying, all right, well, let's let the story play out and we'll figure it out.
And 2 days ago, 16-year-old Colt Gray was sentenced to prison for killing 4 people in a school shooting. Now, in a historic case, his father is being sentenced for giving him the rifle used in the attack. Here's Armando Garcia.
But for you failing to get Colt help, but for your failure to remove access to the guns, this doesn't happen.
Today, a county judge in Georgia sentencing the father who admitted to gifting an assault rifle to his son used to carry out a deadly mass shooting at a high school in 2024.
This is an aggregate sentence of 15 years in prison.
We, the jury, find the defendant.
And 15 years, man, I mean, that's solid.
That's a real sentence.
That's a real sentence. That's a real sentence, my friend.
Guilty.
In March, a jury finding Colin Gray guilty of 27 counts, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter, after his son Colt Gray killed 2 students and 2 teachers at Appalachia High School.
Lucky he only got 15. I mean, could you almost be an accomplice?
Arguably, yeah.
I mean, you're the one that gave him the gun, and it wasn't just a little Walther PK 22 or 30. Like it was an AR-15, which that's arguably assault rifle, right?
How long before this happened did he give it to him? That's one of those
1
things.
year before.
1 year.
Yeah.
1 year.
Same judge who is sentencing Colin Gray sentenced Colt Gray just a few days ago to life in prison without parole after Colt pleaded guilty to more than 50 counts. During the father's trial, he told jurors he hoped giving the weapon to his son would help the 2 bond over hunting and target shooting.
Yeah, it would. If you keep it in your gun safe and when you go target and hunting, you break it out, you give it to your kid, you teach him the gun safety on how to handle it, how to load it, where the safety switch is, how to unarm it, one in the chamber, the whole 9 yards. And then when you're done with your, hunting and target practice, you put the gun back in your gun safe, and the kid can't have access to it unless he does it through you.
Yeah,
that would have eliminated these 4 people that died. What's that?
Well, there was warning signs before they were telling him not to give him the gun, and that he was obsessed with school shootings before he got the gun.
Listen, if you're a good parent, you kind of know what your kid's into. And when your kid's into school shootings...
Yeah, I guess he had posters all around his room with the school shootings.
At that point, you need to not give him a gun. You need to get him a therapist. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, I want to give my kid a gun. He's got a bunch of school shooting posters all over his room. No, buddy, you need to get him a therapist immediately and not even let him have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Good kid. Yeah.
Did he or did he not have posters of school shootings in and around his bedroom?
Yes.
Yes. Don't talk about how good of a kid he is.
He wasn't perfect, nor was I.
Prosecutors accusing the father of ignoring warning signs the son had an affinity for mass shooters, evidence showing the teenager kept a shrine
Man,
dead.
I gotta tell you, Dan, you know everything your kid's into, for the most part. I mean, there might be a couple little stupid things you don't know that they're into, but when your kid has posters of school shootings in his bedroom,
That's Luigi too, isn't it?
No. That's the Parkland shooter.
That's the Parkland shooter. If Danny had pictures of the Parkland shooter in his home, you would rip him down and say, "What the are you doing here, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
What? Why?"
Doesn't make any sense.
Because, Dad, I'm really into school shootings.
Okay.
Okay, buddy. Listen, you know what? After
go buy
work,
a hand grenade.
After work tomorrow, we're going to go talk to somebody. Uncle Steven will be over here to wear you out in about 15 minutes.
You mean not give him a Christmas present of an AR with ammunition?
No. Yeah, that AR-15 that you had on layaway. We're not gonna need that, my friend.
My kids both have ARs, and they're in my safe.
Well, exactly.
The shooter in the 2018 massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
Again, this is what this kid had on his walls of his bedroom.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Families of the victims sharing emotional statements in court today.
Yeah, I'd be full hot if that was one of my kids that got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, you son of a bitch. I'm glad to God. You know what? That suits him well. 15 years, buddy, if not longer. You're an accomplice to all this. I mean, listen, if the kid just goes bozo one day and there's no signs of this, that's one thing. But when the kid's got newspaper clippings of the Parkland shooter pasted up in his wall. We all were kids at one time, and whatever we were into, we put on our wall.
Yeah.
You know what was on my wall?
Nipples.
No, you know what was on my wall? Farrah Fawcett.
And the nipples.
And Green Bay Packer got, James Lofton and Eddie Lee Ivory and Lynn Dickey and Paul Kaufman and John Jefferson.
We had 3 posters. We had the Farrah Fawcett nipples.
Everybody in the
Tampa.
world had that.
We had a Rocky signed Rocky poster.
Yep.
And then we had that garage with the Porsche and the Lamborghini and the Ferrari.
Yep.
And that was what we wanted to have sex with girls as hot as Farrah Fawcett.
Yep.
We wanted to look as good as Rocky.
Yep.
And we wanted to own those. We wanted to be successful enough to own those cars.
And you know what you were telling? You were telling your parents. That's what you were telling your parents.
Right.
I want to be as badass as Rocky. I want to have sex with Farrah Fawcett, and I'd like to have one of those cars.
Right.
Such an innocent, message that you're
That's
giving
what
your
you want your son to do.
Right.
You want your son to be successful, drill a hot chick, and have a nice physique and be well built.
When Tyler was growing up, he had a fat head of Brett Favre. He had Tony Stewart, some NASCAR stuff, and Steve the King Kinzer sprint car stuff. He had race car, and I don't even know that he had any chicks on there necessarily.
He didn't have Leah Thomas on the wall.
No, he didn't.
The trauma the students and teachers faced by seeing my husband laid dead.
Yeah, the minute your kids got Leah Thomas, you might want to burn a timeout on that too.
Yeah.
On the floor of the hallway because Colin could not be a responsible gun owner. He did not pull the trigger, but purchased and left a firearm accessible to a minor.
This case is part of a growing push to hold parents accountable for the actions of their children. Gray is now one of several parents convicted in connection to a...
Good.
But wait a second, Bob. But let's take this one step further, though, because a dangerous instrument's a dangerous instrument, whether it be a gun, a knife, or a car. So could you arguably be held responsible if you buy your son a car and he mows through a parade?
Same
thinking.
This is Melissa. How can I help you?
Hold on. Let me. I saw.
I'm
hold
calling
on.
regarding a child that has been.
I saw this right here that I might want to do a break it down, Bubba. So I tried to copy and paste it. Anytime I see a real bad mom realizes that she's getting arrested and she looks kind of hot, so I'll.
Is this the one in Fort Wall? Oh, you probably haven't watched it yet.
No, have you watched it?
I think it's the one.
Is it a nothing burger?
No. It's something.
Is she hot?
It's not bad for a mom.
Yeah. So, Dan, interesting question, and that is, okay, you buy your kid a car. Let's say you buy your kid a Hummer or a Cybertruck, whatever he would want. And at the end of the day, he mows through, there's a teen takeover, and he mows through a couple kids, kills them, and you're the one that bought the car for him. I mean... he's
a crappy driver. He's a little unstable. He's been a bully. He's gotten in fights before. You have some knowledge. He's kind of a dick.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how that scores out. I think it would have to. They'd have to have something.
Slope.
They'd have to have something on record that he showed indications of driving reckless and wanting to mow people over. Because I think what got this dad in trouble was the posters, on the kid's wall showing school shootings and, paying homage to the Parkland guy.
Well, and also I guess that he did take him, or he was seeing a shrink, and I guess the shrink told his dad that he was he was getting crazier.
Yeah, so that's on record from a medical profession, right?
Yes.
And so at that point, it's not looking good if the therapist, told the parents this kid's showing signs of not so coolness. That doesn't bode well for the parents, I don't think, right? That's probably why the guy's doing 15. Remember, Dan, yesterday we were talking about if I brought my Skag over to your house, we would put you on the leaf blower. We'd put Dumber on the weed whacker.
Right.
That's on the heels of this. A parent. Now, how do you kill a kid? This is in Ocala, Marion County. How do you kill a kid with a leaf blower?
Beat him with it?
I don't know. I don't know. This guy is convicted of murdering his child. Man who allegedly admitted to using a leaf blower on infant, indicted in murder charge. I didn't know that you could, unless you were blowing him in gravel or something.
Oh, you blow him off the table?
I don't know. I don't know.
First at 4 o'clock, 2 indictments returned against 2 Marion County men in separate cases involving children. First, 38-year-old James Westervelt was indicted on a charge of felony first-degree murder. He admitted to using a leaf blower.
Money, can you look into this?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand how you would kill a kid unless he might have been on top of a counter or maybe some concrete steps or something, and then you blew him off and he hit his head.
We blow it into his airway and blow out his lungs?
Maybe.
Does it say?
Can you take too much air on?
Yes.
Like if you had your mouth open and somebody,
yes.
put it, okay.
On a 2-month.
Let's see.
Prior to an August 2024 incident in which the then 6-month-old baby died from what doctors say was blunt head trauma from bouncing the child. He was arrested earlier this year.
Do you have further on it?
It's saying that he was using it on his face and the kid hit his head.
So maybe the kid was just he was 6 months old, so he's a toddler, and I don't know that kids can necessarily hold themselves up.
Were you playing, blow in his face with the air, and all of a sudden it just knocked him over?
Yeah, it looked like he thought it was funny. The kid was 2 months old. He would kind of blow it at his face, and the kid thought it was funny, and he fell backwards.
If you were to do that,
man, I don't know if that's first-degree murder.
If you were to do that, you probably should do it in an area where, on the bed or something like that, where if the kid falls, he falls over into something, spongy or not so deadly.
Yeah, don't do it over a bed of nails.
Well, don't do it over concrete.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. Another Florida woman accused of killing their baby.
It is hard to imagine a mother harming her own child, but Lakeland police arrested a woman after.
You're right. Is it really?
Yeah.
A picture speaks 1,000 words. Is it really that big of a reach?
They've had Barbies like that since 1969, by the way.
Allie Corey did something and killed her baby.
With a neck
tattoo?
They
say she confessed to dropping her baby and throwing him. Sadly, the infant died. Fox 13's Carla Byron has the details.
And Dan, I think you'll be the first one to admit, babies, for the most part, are fairly resilient.
They're designed to be dropped a couple times.
Right, not thrown and spiked.
No. But they're supposed to be able to be dropped. Because a lot of moms have dropped their baby accidentally.
Right.
And they don't all die.
Babies are fairly resilient.
They can handle about a 4-foot drop.
You can't spike them like Ron Gronkowski.
No, they don't handle that well.
A baby is kind of rugged, if you will.
Fox 13's Carla Byron has.
And in order to kill a baby through dropping, you almost have to spike it.
Right.
You almost have to put force behind the dropping.
Right.
The details, though, we do want to warn you, they are disturbing.
The investigation began on June 29th at about 11:30 p.m. when officers responded to Chestnut Woods Drive. There they found 6-month-old Jeremiah and took him to the hospital.
That little kid ain't got a chance. Look at him.
Yeah, he's doing
cute
wrong.
As hell. Man, already pierced his ears. I don't know about all that.
Well, I mean, that's the stupidest thing in the world to do because it's just going to get caught, stretch out the hole, and the kid's going to choke on the hearing.
Not only that, but like the kid's going to be tugging at it and playing with it, and it's going to be irritating to a point early on.
It's selfish.
Police say his mother, 23-year-old Tatiana Norman, eventually admitted to dropping the boy on the floor, causing him to hit his head, as well as throwing him into a playpen. Investigators say she told them she was feeling overwhelmed and fatigued tending to her
I
children.
guarantee you, Jay's here. You know why I smell him?
Yes, he is.
Jay, we have to set some protocols that if you go to the enclave and you have a technical difficulty, that you don't have to come here, bud.
So normally I'll do the enclave if I have a hearing or something. And so today, by chance, my hearing worked out yesterday afternoon, and so I'm able to do it. I know you like me to be here, and I like it to be seamless. I think I already identified the problem. I had work done beneath my office yesterday, which probably just manually disconnected my Ethernet.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
So
it was probably an accidental disconnection.
Those damn workers, they don't care about your Ethernet. They just care about getting the job done.
Well, they're fixing it now. So I try to get there early enough where I can deal with technical difficulties and all that, and I appreciate you letting me do it from there because I want it to be seamless, but I love doing this. I love being a part of it.
Well,
I love
fantastic.
contributing, and so, some days I have hearings and some days I just can't do it, and I'd rather do it if I can.
All right, well, I'm just saying, if you got like a big whodunit over there, you don't have to necessarily bust ass to get here because I know it's a pain in your ass. So, if you plan on coming here initially, that's different than getting there, having technical difficulties, and then having to do an about face.
Right.
Like,
and for me, it's about twice the distance. It's about 20 minutes to 42 minutes, and when I leave, it's about 19 minutes to 38. It's like twice as much.
Right.
So,
understood.
Children.
I understand. I have had children that, you get frustrated and you get, overwhelmed at some.
Yeah, but you don't football spike them. You know what you do? You put the kid in his little playpen, and he's just, him or her, they're just crying because they're teething or whatever's going wrong, and they're not happy. You just can't make them comfortable. And you know what? A baby's not gonna, if you put them in their pen where they can't get anywhere, and
They're safe.
And there's no blankets in there for them to smother themselves like SIDS, or there's no toys or anything like that. Maybe you leave a little binky or a bottle in there if they decide to valve up on that. That's not going to kill them. And you go to your room and you take like a 15-minute timeout, and that kid's just screaming, raising hell, but eventually he'll just cry himself to sleep because it's exhausting for them.
You can go back to smoking your crack pipe.
And you can go back to smoking your crack pipe. But guess what? No kids dying under that circumstance. And you're getting high. So, I mean, it's a win-win. I don't know if that's sound advice from a doctor, but needless to say, this is an entertainment program.
There are different ways to handle that. And throwing a child and killing this little man is not appropriate.
Police say Norman researched injuries online.
Baby.
She's almost pretty.
Yeah, here's the deal. Take the neck tattoo and the fact that she murdered her baby,
and
which
smile.
which are two big deal breakers for me. But if you didn't murder your baby and you didn't have necessarily the ghetto ass neck tattoo, smile a little bit, maybe pull your hair back in a ponytail and put a little lip gloss on, and I think we got us something here.
No, she does have other kids, so I mean,
she does.
Yeah,
she's probably wallered out.
Instead of taking him to the hospital.
Oh, so these were her internet searches. You ready? Baby feels cold. Check. Dead. Baby has concussion. Not all of these are not. Baby is doing well, living a great life. These are all searches based on having a very hurt baby.
So you're doing that $20.
Baby feels cold.
Oh.
Baby has these are all internet searches on her computer. Baby has concussion. Baby has concussion. Is it an emergency? What happens when a baby had a concussion in Florida? What happens when a baby had a concussion? How long does a baby have concussion? Does baby sleep longer with concussion? I think we can pretty much determine that she thought the baby had a concussion.
Well, it looks like she was reaching for a remote control, and the baby fell off the couch.
Oh, sure,
and
right.
hit his head.
Right. Like Dan said, the baby is designed to go 3.5 to 4 foot. I mean, that's what Dan said. It's official.
Just monitored him at home. They add if she had sought medical treatment the morning after his first injury, Jeremiah might have survived.
So, Dan, let me ask you a question. A kid has a catastrophic fall, but you immediately take it to get looked at or to the emergency room. Is there a chance that they can fix that baby, or is it really depending on how blunt and forceful the fall was?
It depends on the force of the fall and
the damage did?
And the damage did. But kids are very resilient and usually don't get injured from a small fall. But if you have a little brain injury, they could have, put the kid on steroids, put it on a seizure medicine, did hyperventilation, cooling, or even in an extreme case, put a bolt, which is a way to decompress pressure on the brain.
Maybe even under extreme cases, maybe induce a coma?
Well, yeah. Well, if you get a bolt, you probably end up inducing a coma, hyperventilating on a ventilator.
Can you induce a coma?
Yeah, you just give them a bunch of narcotics.
No, on a very young. On an
same
infant.
thing. Same thing. You just load them up with meds, snow them. We call it.
Is charged with aggravated child abuse, which is a first-degree felony and can carry a penalty of 30 years in prison. However, this charge could be upgraded. In Lakeland, Carla Byron, Fox 13 News.
Where do you upgrade from there?
First or second degree murder.
Oh. Now, I didn't know that this happened just literally
up the street,
down the street.
Yeah, over by where Jay just was.
Yeah, over by where Jay was. This is kind of over by the conclave.
Yeah.
And oh, Dan leaving?
Yeah, he's out of here.
I like the exchange. See you later, Dan.
Seamless.
Except Dan should say goodbye.
He kind of did while he was.
You didn't hear me. Okay, well, get the hell out of here.
I thought you had to leave.
Yeah, don't be lingering. Jesus, you lingerer. You dirty lingerer.
Jeez.
That's one of the nicer things it would be called today. Don't ask Jennifer on her adverbs for you, my friend. Whew. So this is like a street.
Yeah, street takeover.
I never knew that people did street takeovers in the middle of the highway. I thought they were always side streets and things like that. Like they didn't take a major highway like I-75 that's in some instances 8 lanes, 4 on either side. And how do you do a takeover on an 8-lane highway?
You block all the pretty much any way of getting around it, and then you just have everyone get out of their cars and kind of do a human
wall. So you
wall.
just gridlock it?
Yes.
Like you have everybody kind of stop?
Yeah, and it looks like they were doing burnouts and trying to race.
On scene, hundreds of cars blocked every single northbound lane in Thonotasa, Florida. So authorities say some drivers were doing burnouts and spinning their tires in the middle of the
Now, I'm assuming this is dash cam from an FHP.
Yes.
Interstate. Video.
Now, how do you begin to unwind this and arrest? Do you go to the very front of the line and start arresting people from there?
Yeah, you come backwards.
Yeah,
you
I know,
get
but
on the on-ramp the other way.
Oh. So you
catch them that way.
You go north of where they're at.
Yes.
And then double back down.
Yes.
Because there's no traffic coming because they've already gridlocked.
Correct.
Brilliant. That's why Jay could be a state trooper.
Shows drivers scrambling quickly to get back into.
Now, Jay, what if you're like in the second or third row? You got you and your wife with you, and you guys are just headed to Ocala for the weekend, like you, me, Candle, and Erica could potentially do. We don't have anything to do with this. They got us gridlocked.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the cops would know whether you're in on it or not, right?
Yes.
I mean, a 50-some-year-old man with his wife.
Yeah.
Chances are, unless you're in the front row being a dick, chances are they're not gonna get you.
If I'm in the front row, I'm gonna be a dick if I'm in my wife's Raptor, and I'm gonna drive around everything, and no one's gonna stop me. If I'm in one of my other cars, I'm gonna sit there like a little bitch and wait till the cops come and save me.
If you got the 4-wheel drive Raptor, we're
smell you later, dudes.
We're boss hogging our way right over this little Nissan Sentra with the muffler delete.
The median means nothing when you're in a truck like that.
Right.
You're like right around everything.
But if you're in your Porsche or you're in your Lambo, you're going to be second row Willie, aren't you?
I sure am.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, sir.
You go up to the guy. Listen, buddy, I'll give you $200.
Exactly.
Just move your car out. Let me get through here. No big deal. No, you're never gonna. You know what you're gonna see? You're gonna see my taillights burning down the road, buddy.
Let me add one more burnout for you. I'm out of here.
Let me burn out of here, and here's $200 for you to move here.
As troopers weaved in and out of this chaos, breaking up the illegal gathering. Now,
how many got arrested?
Most of those involved were allowed to leave.
Exactly.
See, and they'll prosecute them here in Florida.
Oh,
That's the difference between California and here. In California, they just break it up. Here, they're going to arrest you. There's a guy that was going 140 he's getting arrested automatically.
Facing any charges. Authorities say a green BMW sped away, leading troopers on a dangerous chase that reached 140 miles per hour, nearly twice the posted speed limit. The driver eventually stopping for troopers. 25-year-old Julian Lugo faces charges of aggravated...
Who?
Julian Lugo.
Julian Lugo.
That guy sounds guilty. Listen.
Stopping for troopers. 25-year-old Julian Lugo.
Julian Lugo. Driving a Beamer.
Is charged
M-Series.
Of aggravated fleeing to elude and participating in a street takeover. Now, Lugo, he had 3 passengers in his car.
Hold on. Did you see this dude?
What was that?
He looks like
Rocky Dennis?
No, he looks like the Night Stalker.
Rocky Dennis.
he looks like the Night Stalker in California.
Oh, he does.
Richard Ramirez. He looks like Richard Ramirez. By the way, I think that's next week's episode on Deadly Intentions. My true crimes podcast with my boy Pete Rossini.
In his car.
He looks like, how do I afford an M3?
Hey, how about well, she's probably underage.
18.
Yeah. Oh, she's 18?
Yeah.
Is she 18?
That's what according.
How about the Playboy chick?
That's yeah.
4-year-old.
Let's see the frontal on her.
And 2 18-year-olds. Now, it's unclear how they're all related, but each were arrested.
And you know, how much would it suck if your cute little daughter is
hanging out with those,
you know, telling you, hey, Dad, I'm going out tonight, and then you know
we're going to have ice cream at Hyde Park,
right? And you know, the Lugo guy doesn't come by the house, and actually for the pickup, the girl meets with him after she's left your house. At that point, you don't have any control,
right?
And next thing you know, you get a call because she's been arrested because Lugo wanted to do a 140 mile an hour, you know, evasive. Running for the cops gimmick, and she's now trumped up and, you know, probably in just as much trouble.
According to the Florida Highway Patrol, they are charged with
holy meth face.
That's
ew.
Misdemeanor highway racing.
I mean, if she's just got normal 18-year-old acne, that's one thing, but no, she's a beast.
And were booked in Hillsborough County Jail. And Harris, this is a disturbing trend.
Yeah, because if you're over 18, Lummy, you don't go to juvie.
Nope.
You go right to Orient Road.
That's right.
This is a disturbing trend. Many of these illegal street takeovers involve gun violence, but authorities say in this case, thankfully, nobody was injured.
22 arrested.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're saying. And then these 4 they have higher charges because these are the ones going on the high-speed chase.
When we return, I think they go through every time, and I think it was yesterday, Lemmy, when we said, you know, when is it really going to end? Is it really, when Trump says we're doing a ceasefire, Willie, are we really doing a ceasefire, Willie? Are we really going to abide by it? And in this particular article, it breaks it down 7 times. We've been through this dance 7 times. And they have the dates of every time we've said there is officially a ceasefire, and every time the stinky bastards on the other side go, we do not have a ceasefire, and we're going to blow up some stuff in Jordan. I'll do that next. Hold on.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Man, I loved your pictures you showed me yesterday, bro.
Sick, right? That's why it's got. I mean, I'm so happy that when I called my contractor, he said I was working right underneath it. He was putting insulation in right where the wiring is. I know what the problem is, because what would be more concerning is if I didn't know what the fuck did it. So
no, but at least you know the culprit.
That's exactly right. So cause and effect, that's fine. Right. There'll be no more construction. That'll never happen again. That's why I hardwired it. I didn't want this shit to fucking happen.
Oh, you're in the middle of hardwired.
I'm already hardwired Ethernet. It's already hardwired, and so he was doing insulation up where the hard wiring was.
They did that.
Pee real quick.
Drop down. Menu of watch. I gotta pee too. Hurry up, Jay. shoes on, and then I gotta go pee. Hit that thumbs up. Come on. I can't get up. I don't want to get up and leave chat. I'll chat for a second.
Morning, Fire Marshal Bizil, Dirt Merchant. How's everybody doing? What up, Bo Mackey? Thank you. Highway sucks. Oh, let me show you something real quick. Hold on 1 second. See if I can find it real quick. So this is what these guys are doing now, is they'll do it like in front of their cars and shit, is where they do their whole thing. Like they sit in front of their studio, and so if you could literally, we could put we could put a table and chairs downstairs and do it from there for upstairs. I mean, there's like
that's all you need, it's just right there.
Right, and so there's a bunch of different guys. Spike Ferenstein and all these guys are doing it. Stradman and what they all do.
Yeah, but
is
you know what I would do?
They do it in front of the
Yeah,
lineup.
but they don't. They have a monitor there.
But they show different screens.
I know, but I would actually, instead of having a monitor there, have your badass ass car there.
Right behind it.
No, right there.
Yeah.
Where that screen is where your car would be.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I would do whatever you want.
No,
that's the point. Is whatever you want.
Because you
we can do.
Which is your? I think
918.
Your 918.
Yeah.
I'd have that as the backdrop. The 918.
For sure.
And like the 918 would be where that screen is.
Right.
And we would be
100%.
here. Look, so we would be here, and you would be there.
Yeah.
And then we'd have mics, and then the 918 would be right there.
I mean, it's so perfect. So
I've never driven in the 918. You need to give me a ride one day.
For sure.
Maybe on at
tape.
the Enclave.
Yeah, on tape. On tape.
Yes, on tape.
It's
for some content.
I was gonna put it on the track one day, and so maybe you come out for that because there's gonna be a bunch of people from Porsche and we're gonna come do it because it's a big deal to put that thing on the track. What up, Sicilian Redneck, Big Buck, Jeff Schwartz? How's everybody doing? Jay Bowler, Trash Guy. Big E, Dave Rock. What up, John Riccardi, excuse me.
Tampa Bay's trusted source for lawnmowers, landscape equipment, lifts, loaders, service, and repairs. I'm talking about Les of Tampa Bay. 3 convenient locations, Bradenton, Clearwater, and Wesley Chapel. They're much more than your lawnmower and outdoor power equipment shop. They strive to provide quality products and top service at the best prices. What sets Les apart from the competition? Their relationship with you. Also the exclusive home dealer of Skag. Whether you need parts and service or you need a brand new unit, Les of Tampa Bay will take care of you. More information, Les, L-E-S-S, LesTampaBay.com.
Welcome back. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Listener supported on Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Bubba Army merch, Bubba Army shop, Bubba Army store. The new tack we've replenished with the tack bags, the sun hats, the UV shirts. Still can buy some Alpha 26 in there. I think there's 15 or so Bubba-inspired, what are they? Rolex Submariner. Yes. 15 or so of those. Bubba Army shop, store, and or merch. Get them while supplies last. So Trump frequently announces he's halting strikes in Iran, but they keep happening. Dateline Tel Aviv, Israel. President Donald Trump said late Saturday that he would halt new planned attacks on Iran, pending renewed talks to wind down the war and revive stalled cargo traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, it goes through, it says, here's a look at some of Trump's past major announcements about pausing the strikes of Iran. This is really the first place that I've seen break it down this extensively. So if we're scoring at home, Lummy, you keep score.
All right.
Number 1, April 7th. Okay. The United States and Iran agree to a 2-week ceasefire to end the intense fighting that began on February 28th with Israel and U.S. attacks. Trump makes the announcement less than 2 hours before the deadline. Remember, it was like set to expire like at 8 o'clock and like at 5:30 or 6. Trump makes the announcement.
Yes.
2 hours before the deadline that he had set for Tehran to capitulate or face attacks on bridges, power plants, strikes that he would that would mean a whole civilization will die. Now, on April 7th, that's what he said. April 21st, Trump announces that Trump announces that the U.S. is indefinitely extending its ceasefire with Iran today before it was set to expire. He adds that he has been asked by mediators to hold off on attacks to give Iranian leaders time to come up with an additional proposal. The fragile ceasefire lasts until May 8th, when the U.S. carried out strikes on Iranian tankers. May 18th, number 3. After a weekend of dire threats against Iran, Trump said he's holding off on major planned military strikes because of serious negotiations are underway. There seems to be a very good chance that we can work something out. And if not, we're going to bomb the hell out of them. I'd be very happy. He said this on May 27th. U.S. strikes were back on. Negotiations had faltered. Number 4. After June 11th. After 2 days of back-and-forth attacks, Trump threatens further escalation, saying U.S. would hit Iran very hard tonight and take total control of its oil and gas industries. Then a few hours later, Trump posts on social media that there has been a breakthrough in negotiations and he called off the strikes. Is that 4?
Yes.
Number 5, June 17th, 6 days later. Trump signs an initial agreement with Iran that calls for a permanent end to the hostilities and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. And it starts a 60-day negotiation clock to reach a final deal on the future of Iran's nuclear program. Trump left the door open to abandoning it. It's a memorandum of understanding, and if I don't like it, we'll go back to shooting at them and dropping bombs. July 7th. Is that number 6? Number 6. After Iranian attacks on commercial ships in the Strait, Trump launches new strikes on Iran while he's in Turkey, attending the NATO Leaders Summit. Later, he renews his threat to just finish the job on Iran, saying that he believes the ceasefire is over. 20 days later, we at 7?
Yes, we are.
Number 7. Trump says he's paused the 2 weeks of intense daily U.S. strikes on Iran to give negotiations another chance. During 13 days of strikes, the U.S. military had targeted key military and commercial sites as clashes continue to escalate over shipping routes. In response, Iran had launched missiles and drones across the Middle East at countries that host U.S. troops. August 1st. Is this number 8? Am I
Yes,
number 8?
is.
Number 8. After telling reporters in the United States we would hit him very hard, Trump says on social media that he has canceled planned strikes, claiming the Mideast allies had reached the parameters of a deal to end the war, including a reopening of the strait. Based on this request, I have agreed for the future benefit of the world and likewise the survival of a successful and prosperous Iran to cancel the attack. Subject to being able to rapidly make a deal, Trump said in response to Iran's defense minister said that the country was neither surprised nor passive following Trump's announcement and said Iran continues to remain alert in the face of threats. There's 8 times. So, like, Jay, Lummy, whoever, like, isn't it the guy who cried wolf? I mean, aren't we kind of like, 8 times and we're not out? Like, what are we doing here?
You know, I think that Trump is reluctant to hurt the civilians, and I think he's, done everything he can to try to keep gas prices down. I think if you look at the timing of the ceasefires and all those announcements, gas was going wild, and then he said those things, and they immediately started going down. And so, I'm of the school that I think there may be a method to his madness. I don't think that he anticipated quite how defiant and how obstinate the Iranians would be. And when he's talking about taking the head off, I think he's talking about getting rid of this additional layer of the leaders. And I thought they should have done that a long time ago, Bubba, like you. The problem is we're dealing with the section of the Iranian leadership that will not bend, they will not flex, they break. And so they will sit to the detriment of their people. They don't care if we bomb the infrastructure and the bridges and the power plants. They've already killed 40,000 people who, had the balls to say something out loud. Think if we had 40,000 people in this country that were the ones that were strong enough to be in the streets, and then all of a sudden the government killed them all. Are you and I going back out in the streets right now?
No.
I don't think so. And so I think he's having a difficult...
But at that point, it shows you that the supreme leaders are still in power, and these are the most impossible people to deal with. So, like, I don't know that a deal can be reached with these people. I think that's earlier. I think you said that earlier. These people are impossible. The people that we're dealing with that are in power are virtually impossible, and they'll never give up. And I think they'll just keep lying through their teeth, and we're just going to always have a on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again. There'll never be any complete closure or a double or any type of victory or any type of anything that we're gonna get with these people. I think
you're right. Not unless the rest of the Gulf states come to our aid and NATO comes to our aid and the world says it's enough, Iran. You're not going to have control over. We could take the Straits of Hormuz with NATO in about 4 seconds. And, if the Gulf states want to get, like Saudi's getting more involved and Oman's getting more involved, they never have ever been involved in the past. And so there's really significant, meaningful hope.
Can I ask you a question? So these surrounding countries around Iran that potentially might help us, are they scared of, after this is all said and done and the dust settles, Iran coming to, to pay respects, if you will, and screw with them now that we're out of the region and they don't have, the ultimate tough guy there to back them up? Are they afraid of retaliation?
Exactly. And that's what, if you notice, the only thing that Iran's been successful at in the last month has been lobbing things into other countries.
Right.
They're lobbing something into Egypt. They're lobbing something into Oman. They're taking power structures out. They're taking an oil rig out here or there or a refinery. And so those things are meaningful to the people of Oman and those regions. They want peace too. And so if everyone would get around the concept of peace and enforcing it by saying, look, you guys are not going to be the number one state sponsor of terror. You guys are not going to allow Hezbollah and every other terrorist organization to be financed through your country. But it's just taking longer than he expected. And so I think his naivete is that he thought this would be, let me flex how strong the United States military is, and they're just going to capitulate and cower. Not these people.
So where do we end up? Like in your opinion, where do we end up?
Bubba, I really don't know. I think,
and that's like
that's
the average.
problem.
So,
I
and
really
you're the
don't
average
know.
smart guy that rolls around here. You're an attorney. You're very, very, very smart, very successful, and not even you can really give anybody, or nobody for that matter, can give any type of opinion as to where. Usually, we have a pretty good bearing on what might happen. None of us really know, because it's 8 strikes and you're not out. They continue to lie. They always will lie. They're bad. They're just genuinely bad people. That
the leadership.
Yeah. No, I
and
don't.
Iranians, like Trump always makes sure to qualify that and say the Iranians are great people.
Yeah, I meant the supreme leader. And so even you, like, nobody can really speculate where this ends. Like, I don't think we get a clear-cut ending to it. I think it's just going to be a hodgepodge. We kind of pull out. I don't know that we're ever going to get like, okay, we have disarmed their ability to produce a nuclear warhead. We have disarmed their ability to shoot a long-range ballistic missile as far as France and London. Mm-hmm. We have opened up the Strait of Hormuz completely free to everybody who wants to go through that 29-mile stretch. I don't know that we're all, and those seem to be the 3 things that we need the most, with the very top 2 being the nuclear warhead capabilities and the opening of the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know that we're ever going to get that.
And the cynic in me thinks that NATO doesn't want to help him in the middle of this midterm. Because what does Trump do to NATO? He's a bully to them and says, you didn't pay your 2%, now you need to pay 5%. And so NATO should have been there with us, like we've been with them through the Ukrainian war, where we spent nearly $300 billion. And we're to defend democracy, which I think is okay. It's great. But you got to look at things with the same lens. And so we're barely over there for 5-6 months. He's trying his best. He hasn't killed, there's over 1 million people dead in the Ukrainian war. There's less than 5,000 people dead in the Iranian war, and that's horrible. Any loss of life is terrible.
And that's
but
been
you
going
look at
on
the
now,
scale.
On its 4th year?
4 years. And so as we sit and listen to Democrats lecture us about, the goodness of the war in Ukraine and Russia, that, this is too fast. And they're too slow, and we can't do it fast enough, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and now he's giving them the Straits of Hormuz. And so I just wish politics would be out of it, and everyone would do what they think is right. And I think that if we had the world behind us, they could shut it down.
Well, NATO
very quickly.
said that they will send warships if we get a truce.
Yeah, that's going to be after the election. Watch.
Oh, yeah, I think all this comes post-election.
Do you think NATO's going to help? Let me ask a question, Bubba. Do you think that NATO is going to do anything to help this administration shut this war down before November 3rd?
In fact, they think that it not being resolved before the midterms is kind of a slight to Trump and the Republican Party, and that's what they're aiming for. Right. After the midterms, in my opinion, and I'm probably the dumbest guy in this room, in my opinion, that's when we'll see an increased enthusiasm of getting this deal done from their sides. After they have one trump card to play, no pun intended, and that is, let us try to disrupt the midterms and get as many of Donald Trump's followers thrown out, and the other party in power, which kind of takes a little bit of Trump's
it neuters him, because then he's looking at impeachment again for 2 years. If he loses the House, I could predict right now what the next 2 years are going to be. Impeachment. And
it'll never get it past the Senate, but it'll always be a House issue.
Unless they take the Senate, too, which is why having the people like that guy, Tallarico, and the guy, Abdullah al-Sayed, the guy in Michigan.
Can you imagine if they take both the House and the Senate? He's done.
Anyone listening, he will be done. This president will be done. And if you want to have any type of law and order, and you want to have any type of checks and balances, that's not a good thing to do. Impeachment every time the Democrats are in control, which is what they do.
Especially if there's not, like, Richard Nixon with Watergate, that was an impeachable offense. That, the guy did something to get impeached. Clinton with, I don't think that oral sex.
That was BS.
I think, oral sex in the Rose Garden with was it Gaddafi or what was the guy he just had a meeting with?
Gaddafi?
It was Gaddafi or something. I don't know who it was. It was a leader of some. It was a leader of some country that he was meeting with, and then he got done, and I think he met Monica Lewinsky like in his office or something like that, and he cigared her, and then got some oral. I think them trumping him up on impeachment. I think that was not an impeachable offense, and that was just politics at its dirtiest.
100%. I mean, I'm a Republican. I was a Republican at the time, and I found it offensive that Ken Starr did that. They started with some big whodunit about Hillary Clinton and overbilling and all this, and then they get to that.
Yeah.
It was chicken shiz.
It was
and so
absolutely.
I thought it was ridiculous, overreaching government.
And so to impeach Trump, he hasn't done anything per se like Watergate or something that that was an actual, violation of federal law while you're the president of the United States. You're simply impeaching him because you don't align with him politically. And so that's why you're going to impeach him, and that's bullcrap. But I'm telling you right now, man, if the Democrats control either one, they're going to start the articles of impeachment. They may not get him through because you got to win both the House and the Senate. You may not get him through, but they're going to cause a crap storm. They're absolutely going to try to throw him out.
They'll do the control the narrative like they did with COVID and like they did with the first impeachment. And how many days did the news cover the Zelensky call, which turned out to be, like Trump said, a perfectly fine call? Hey, do you think maybe you could look into some fraud that we think happened with Hunter Biden, which turned out to be actually accurate information from the laptop that 50 government officials says wasn't accurate? It's so frustrating because their playbook is right there, Bubba. And it's just going to disrupt. And so back to what you're talking about is by doing that, it disrupts his ability to focus on
Iran. He's going to be a lame duck. And nothing's going to get through. And then 2 years after that, it's going to be a big whodunit as to who the Democratic nominee is and who the Republican nominee is. The only thing I can say is the Republican are a little bit more organized right now because this DSA, this Democratic, Socialists of America, is fragmenting the Democratic Party. It's making it, the Democrats need to circle their wagons and be more lockstep than ever, and they are more fragmented and weird than ever.
Yep.
This woman, was she doing a live stream on TikTok and they killed her? Did you not see this?
No, I didn't.
Check this out.
Of a Mexican beauty influencer has sent shockwaves across the country. 23-year-old Valeria Marquez shot to death during a TikTok live stream on Tuesday. Her followers watched her final moments live in this video. Hola. Sí. In the minutes before, as she recorded from the beauty salon where she worked in Zapopan, central Mexico. She mentions how someone had stopped by earlier, promising to bring an expensive gift. Later on, clutching a pink stuffed animal, Marquez looks out of frame before saying they're coming, and a voice in the background asks for her by name. Marquez replies yes, then leans over to mute the sound on the live stream. Horrifically shot to death in moments after, we will not...
What?
Live stream. Let me not to bring a dark cloud over my boy DJ's Pro Action suspension, $100. Thank you, DJ. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at the Bubba Army. So this woman was shot, and they don't show it, but live while she was doing a live stream? My God.
Show. But after, a person appears to pick up her phone, their face briefly showing on the live stream before the video ends. The identity of this person and their relationship to the crime hasn't been publicly identified.
Well, it's a woman.
Fine.
Well, it looks like they got some people.
This is, I think, older.
It would be the last video for Marquez, a rising online star in Mexico with nearly 200,000 followers between Instagram and TikTok. Now Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, vowing justice. The prosecutor's office has not named a suspect, but said the killer...
Is this a little old and they found something?
Yeah, it's about a year or so old.
Oh, how'd I get bamboozled that bad?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for myself.
They target us boomers somehow.
They do. It's not a nothing burger in the fact that she got shot live on live stream. They just now did they find the person that did it?
Yeah, it looks like there's like 4 different cartel members that they were targeting, and they made a couple arrests. They just didn't name who they were.
Why did this woman run afoul of the cartel? Was she dating a cartel?
It says the 4 that were maybe doing drug trafficking, but
she might have been too.
It didn't say that in the report. It just said that everything was linked together. So it may have been. They may have been running drugs through it, or she may have.
What better cover? What better cover than a hot influencer to be running some cocaine for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to wrap the show up next. Stand by.
It's not what you think.
What? Since when?
Actually, it's much less. Much less. Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
And I guess they asked for a knife, and the owner lost their shiz on them.
Trying to look for it. Joey Tomato confronts owner.
So this isn't a popular one on the Jersey Shore?
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, what is it they think she did wrong? They cut the cake? What the?
No, they went in there, they bought it, they asked if they could bring the 5-year-old kid cake, and then when they needed a knife to cut, she lost it and told her that they weren't allowed to have the cake. She wouldn't give them a knife.
She didn't want them to bring in a birthday cake instead of ordering dessert?
They had it, yeah, they had it, and she got offended by it. And I guess just lost their mind and was yelling at him. $45 for a fucking pizza. That's how much it costs up there?
She already bought 4 pizzas.
Yeah.
5 drinks at $250. You can't bring a birthday cake? It's not like you're bringing ice cream and fucking sprinkles.
No. But for $45 for a plain pie, pitcher of soda.
It's a lot of money. 4 pizzas for $250?
That's the special on their sign.
We called ahead to ask if it was okay to bring a cake. The person on the phone said, let's see, said it was okay.
I guess the lady lost her mind, the owner.
Yeah. It's crazy. I hadn't seen that. People are nuts.
Yeah.
Good morning, Bob Cook. What up, Chris Cracker? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Good morning, everybody over there on Rumble. I see you, Bubba Nation, Jonesy, Chris Cracker, Black Guy and Cali, Bubba Nation 23, Kenny F. and Powers. What's everybody doing? Attack of the Dog, Pippi Short Stroker, J Law. What up, everybody? Jay Bowler. What up, Dirt Merchant, Stop and Go Steve. Jiggy Bear, what up? White Iced Tea. I see you, Steve, the grumpy old man. What's going on, brother? Jeff Frierson, good morning. You know, I didn't check Attack of the Dog. I'll take a look. What up, Glenn Longnecker? Heather Spin Instructor. Rugged White Male in Miami. How's everybody doing? Johnny K. Steel Slinger. What up, 305 Express 7? I'll take a look at it. There's been sick waves over in California, everywhere. Good morning, Sicilian Redneck. Berto Perez. It is Bubba Nation. I think August 21st or August 17th. What's up, Joey the Wall? Good morning. Soupy John. RZR Girl. What up? That's a new one. How are you? Good morning.
New.
Brandon Foster. Somebody new. Jiggy Bear. I love the name. Got to know what's going on. Cool Vibes. Another new one. How you doing?
Who is?
Cool Vibes. 6410.
Are you just assuming that they're new?
Oh, it could be just a new name.
For Jay. Kidding.
Yeah, no.
Jimmy Bear.
What up, Zachary Roach? Carlos Mandingo, how you doing?
Hello, Tommy.
The 24th, huh? I do surf in Florida. It's just harder, HS Bubba fan. It's usually hurricane dependent, so hopefully we don't get any hurricanes here. They just go along the line of the coast. Oh, Florida Cracker, 92. New York Greg, Bucker, 4239. Hit the like button, everybody. Thank you for all your support. I know our ways to post the profile.
Yo, we're back. Oh, jeez. Come on.
Don't listen to him. We hate him.
Oh, man, this sucks. What the?
I'd like to move this thing along.
The Love Sponge. Back, despite overwhelming public disapproval. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Before I leave you, remember when Little Kim was actually kind of hot? Didn't she date Biggie Smalls?
Mm-hmm.
Notorious B.I.G.?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was his baby mama, I think. Lil Kim.
Well, she's
and she
is she still little?
No,
she's little. All
they
right.
might as well call her Big Kim. Lil Kim and Royal Reign at the Rookie Kids fashion show. Now, is this her daughter?
Yes.
And Little Kim.
She got a Michael Jackson nose. It's weird.
Little Kim looks weird.
Am I making that up, or does her nose look a little bit Michael Jackson?
That's all you can see of her?
What?
I'm saying her face.
Yeah, the whole. Is that it? Whoa.
That's not what she looked like when she was banging Biggie.
Beautiful.
Are those her kids?
I guess that's her kids. I'm not saying that I know how to be the best parent, because I might not be a good parent. I think I'm a pretty good parent, but whatever. I think it's kind of maybe weird to prop your maybe 10, 11, 12-year-old up to be part of a fashion show. Just not necessarily because it's bad parenting and I think it's a bad act. I just am afraid of all the potential weirdos that may fret over your child. Meaning, like, it's not necessarily a bad act of parenting if your kid is, going to model the latest sweatsuit and be part of Fashion Week and what have you. I'm just in fear of what you cannot control, which are the weirdos that are touching themselves to your kid.
Well, and also the billionaires that will, if they're really successful and they go to New York or they go to Milan, I mean, I can't even imagine the creeps and the predators that are exposed to
for
their
just in
children.
Fear of the people they may have to be associated with.
I would be in fear if my daughter was that kind of model. If she was picked up and someone said, let's go do this.
First of all, Candle is not allowing that at all.
I sent you what, just so Jay remembers what she used to look like. Okay, got it.
I found this.
What?
I found this. This is 2000, and she looks pretty damn good there. I mean, that looks good as hell.
She's a pretty woman.
Yeah.
Period.
I love the
bedazzled
the bedazzled jeans. I love the cowboy boots, the flat tummy, the nice breasts. I don't mind the Whitney hair kink. Hairdo. The makeup's done. I mean, she's a very attractive woman there. Here, she looks like, I mean, my God.
She looks worse in 2026.
It looks like she may have gotten one of those Brazilian butt lifts, along with a face job, along with, I don't even know where to begin.
I was going to say, her face looks a lot rounder in the video you showed.
Well, I mean, it's like they almost
AI'd it?
Well, yeah,
looks like an alien.
It looks like maybe Dan could tell us, but how do they actually change the structure of your face to go from a normal face here? She's got a normal face. Now it looks like she's got an oblong type face. What type of plastic surgery would you have to go through to literally change the shape of your face?
Well, I sent you what her 2026 is now.
Whoa. Yeah, this is her now. So in a year, she must have gained 40 or 50 pounds, because if you look at, Here, she looks like, unless this is AI.
I think that's AI.
So
I mean, like if you look at my picture on our thumbnail, I wish I looked that good.
You do.
Well, no.
Yeah, you do.
We AI the hell out of it. But I mean, this is her modern day little Kim.
Well,
and
it's like
she looks like crap.
the features of her nose look like Michael Jackson in the
Yes.
contemporary pictures, and when you look at the one from 2020, she's just a beautiful. Her face just looks
She's
normal.
just a
She looks
beautiful
like a
chick.
young, 35-year-old woman or whatever
Now,
she was at the time.
I actually Googled little Kim at 30. And that the picture that I showed previous was her at 30. And she was a smoke show. Hot as hell. And finally, this is disturbing. The district attorney and the school didn't file charges on this kid. So these two kids are playing basketball, the white kid and the black kid. The white kid has the ball. And it looks like the black kid becomes frustrated and wants the ball. And look what I want you to see what he does to the white kid and then know that the school and or the law enforcement, they did nothing. They didn't throw the kid out of school. They didn't press charges. They didn't do nothing. Now, Jay, just put in if this was Trey.
Mm-hmm.
If this was Trey and this happened, during a school event.
Are you kidding me?
Kid required immediate medical attention.
A boy was injured and suffered a bone fracture during a middle school basketball game after being slammed to the ground by an opposing player.
Look at the size of that kid.
Yeah. The kid, hold
on. Look at that little
Now,
tiny kid.
And look at the size of the male referee, and the kid towers over him.
He's got to be 6 feet.
Defensive play. The boy suddenly lost control of his emotions. He aggressively grabbed the opposing player, who was preparing to make a move, and tackled him to the floor. The injured player landed hard on his leg and immediately fell, unable to get up. Teachers and coaches quickly intervened to stop the game and make sure the injured player received medical attention. Despite the severity of the situation, the student who caused the fall was not expelled. The school decided not
expelled. Listen to this.
To take further action.
School took no action.
What?
Treating the incident as a brief emotional lapse.
The kid had a brief emotional lapse. That's what we're officially chalking it up to.
Injured boy's parents were outraged by the lack of consequences for the student's violent behavior. They argued that the incident was too serious to be dismissed and demanded more accountability from the school. The case has sparked debate among students, parents, and teachers.
I don't know what the debate is.
I
think the proof is in the video.
Some believe it was an unintentional emotional outburst, while others think violence on the court should never be tolerated, regardless of the situation.
Kid required immediate medical attention.
Where was that? Because if that was in Grady Judd's area, that kid would be arrested. I don't care what the school
Chad
wanted to do.
Cronister.
That's right.
Or Bob Gutierrez, or Chris Nacco, or anybody for that
That's
matter.
ridiculous to see that.
Yeah.
It was, looks like Virginia.
Yeah, no accountability in Virginia.
And here's the other thing, Jay. The school doubled down and said it was an emotional judgment relapse. Jay, there's some cases that you just hit play and it pretty much tells the story, right?
Yep.
Not a lot of lawyering involved. I mean, you're a great lawyer, but sometimes you just hit play, my friend, and it just lays it all out for you.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I didn't have my pot up. This would be an incident, Jay, where you just hit play.
I can't believe that.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm just going to hit play. I'm going to step back and let you watch it.
I can't believe they didn't convict that kid, or at least, do some sort of juvenile, pretrial intervention, some kind of anger control or class. I mean, you can't just let that go, because part of sports is emotion, and part of sports is controlling your emotions. So I'm with you, Bubba. That kid, something should happen to that kid.
We are out of here. We will see you tomorrow.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian, Lummit.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter program.
Gene Lasker, voice of the people. Glad you get to hear me.
Gary Cantrell, video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, of Council.
Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra, of Council.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello. I'm back.